Oh, yay, dude. Fucking had to fix shit. I love fixing stuff. Fixing stuff is my favorite fucking thing to do on these damn platforms. And there's so much shit going on right now. So yeah, I know, I'm late. Thank you. Christ almighty, Christ almighty. Okay, fucking... Before I finish off all this fucking self-promo on fucking various socials, god damn it, dude. Mega Pokemon abilities are here now because of... the dropping of Champions. Champions is here. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. Champions is here. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. Champions is here. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. And, we're gonna have to do some belt to ass on fucking Game Freak. What do you mean Mega Skarmory is getting fucking Stalwart? Okay, dude. Nice meme. Whoa, it's Boy Meets... Why does Mega Skarmory have fucking Stalwart? Ugh. Ugh, God, it's a terrible ability. Oh, Badaho. Its moves can't get redirected. Whoa. Oh. Okay, dude. Dog shit. God, it's so bad. Look, Hawlucha got no guard. What moves does... Okay, it looks like the leaks we went over are confirmed because Mega Clefable has the ability of Magic Bounce, which is a good ability for Mega Clefable to have. Pokemon stats are saved the first time you transfer them to champions. So for example, if you have an untrained Pokemon you transfer to champions and transfer it back to Scarlet Violet for EV training, and then transfer it back to champions, your changes won't be applied. That's kind of annoying. Hawlucha gets no guard. What moves does Hawlucha have that can miss? Does it get Stone Edge? I don't know what other moves it gets. Also, a bunch of Pokemon are not even in. A bunch of the new Megas are not in, and the Pokedex for Champions is dog water. So... It has no fucking Metagross in. Like, what are we doing? Just, ugh. Ugh. Disgusting. It's gross. No Absol Z, Garchomp Z, Lucario Z, which is like some of the interesting stuff. No Heatran, no Darkrai, no Golisopod, no Mag, no Zera, no, Bax. And even some of the stuff that said in the leaks could get some interesting stuff, like Electros, they're just not in. Oh, and they're already doing a bunch of, paywall bullshit. Ugh. Dog shit. Mega Chandelure's ability is Infiltrator. They don't want to give it Shadow Tag because of Mega Gengar. That's why. Mega Gengar's gonna be broken enough as is. They don't want to give it the... Yeah, they don't want to give another Ghost Mega Shadow Tag. That's why. But Mega Golurk's ability is Unseen Fist. Okay. Okay. So we just hate Mega Excadrill, then get Game Freak. I guess we just hate Excadrill then. Why are we doing Excadrill so dirty like this? Hello? What the fuck? That's fucked up. Mega Floette gets Fairy Aura. That is a good ability. That's a good one. Too bad Floette's move pool is terrible. So, stats are good. The ability is good. Light of Ruin will literally delete whatever is in front of it. Yeah. That's really about it. Its move pool is terrible. Can't hit steel types for shit, so this thing's bad. We've already talked about Mega Skarmory. Gets Stalwart. Dog shit. Terrible ability. Awful. Just bad. Tough Claws is right there. But we get Stalwart. Because everyone was saying, oh, they're going to give Skarmory good as gold. That was never going to happen. That's some fucking copium shit. Never getting good as gold. That was not happening. Ever. I was like, but Tough Claws. It's got big claws. Looking kind of tough. Even Sharpness would have not been as terrible. But it's Stalwart. Skarmory stocks have gone down significantly because of that ability. It's still a really good Pokemon, and you can still do like sweeping shenanigans without Tough Claws, but it's not. Mega Meowstic gets Trace, which is a good ability. Also, they cut out certain Pokemon from the trailer, so like Ursaluna is not in, for example. Yeah, Mega Meowstic, unfortunately, getting Trace means it will be compared to Alakazam, and Mega Meowstic is not Mega Alakazam, so it is terrible in comparison. But it's a good ability. It's just that it's going to get immediately compared to Mega Alakazam, which means it's going to be dog shit. So no fucking Indeedee, no Ursa. Those got removed because those were the trailers initially, and they got removed. What else? Because I'm just looking at the decks for this stuff, and it's bad. It's just not a good dex. Just, ugh. Not even all the new Megas are here. I don't know. This seems, like, so ass. Okay, I don't know why we keep fucking adjusting the volume automatically here. Stop that. It's just bad. I'm gonna be honest. Just ick. Nothing but ick. Now, hold on. Wait a minute. This is a change. It looks like the leaks were not correct. Mega Glamora was supposed to have Levitate. Now it has Adaptability. The problem with Glamora is that Toxic Debris is a really, really, really good ability. Like, really, really good. And Mega Glamora likes having its item a lot. Focus Sash is good. Red Card is good. Power Herb is good. All of those items are really, really good on Mega Glim, on just regular Glamora. And it's got the stats to make use of it. Being forced to hold the Mega Stone for the really whack stat distribution Mega Glamora ended up getting is just... For adaptability? Wait, they gave Mega Victory Belt innards out. Wow, what a shit Pokemon. That's terrible. Oh my god, that is dog shit. Alright, Mega Victory Bell is dog water. Terrible. Just bad. Very bad. So bad. Alright, they are calling it one of the most doo-doo butt cheeks megas on the planet. It's going to be ZU by technicality, whereas you'll want to use regular Victory Bell instead of the mega. And regular Victory Bell is fucking ass. Now there's a sacrificial MILF here. Oh, here we go. Drampa gets Berserk. Fuck, innards out on Victory Bell is so funny. I mean, everything so far has been fucking dookie butt cheeks. Listen, Sacrificial MILF, you would not have known about a 2-pack of ass if it wasn't for me, okay? Oh, did our fucking title not work? Oh no, I forgot to take out the centrist thing with Hassan. Fuck my life. Whatever. That was Paradigm? No, I never got in touch with them. Man, that Iran video is really popping off. I don't even know how that works, how it's happened, but it has. Iron Fist for Crab? Sure. It's fine. Whatever. Alright, we got 1 W, and that's huge power for Mega Starmie. W for Starmie. Let's get a... Can we get some W's for Starmie? That's fantastic. They did the thing that was obviously gonna fucking happen. Very, very good. And Greninja with Battle Bond cannot be sent to Pokemon Champions. Yeah, they retconned Ash Greninja. It's over for Ash Gren. Can't do the insane shenanigans with Ash Greninja where you can get your Battle Bond boost before you Mega. And then just go stupid as Mega Greninja with a +1/+1/+1/+1, like a complete with an Omni boost, and just go absolutely fucking stupid. That is an option that is now not available for Greninja, which is unfortunate. But Starmie's gonna be good. I am surprised that they didn't give it pure power because it's a psychic type, and I guess they just wanted to let Mega Metachan be the one with pure power, which is fine. Whatever. It's effectively the same thing. Don't care. Also, wait, our Chaladon can't learn Body Press. That's a nerf. That's a big nerf, by the way. Very, very big nerf. Also, Spicy Spray. I've read that ability, how it works wrong. How it works is, the move does not have to make contact. If it's any move that hits, so like a spread move, for example, so long as it hits, Mega Scovillain, you get the burn. It doesn't matter if it's a special move, doesn't matter if it's a physical move. So long as it is a move that hits Scovillain, you get hit with Spicy Spray, which is good. It's a good ability. Does that make Scovillain any better? No. Not really. It's still pretty fucking ass, I'm gonna be honest. It's still terrible. Because the Pokemon itself is just bad. It's just a bad Pokemon. Well, I guess I'm not going to be playing Pokemon Champions, I think. Because the Pokedex for it is really bad. Like, it's bad. It is a bad Pokedex, I'm going to be honest. It is terrible. Ligma. Got him. No, you dork. Okay. Got me. Obviously, we know about the abilities. It's Zoran. I was gonna say Ambedkar, but okay. Multiscale, Mega Soul for Meganium, Levitate for Chimecho. Really? Okay, I mean, Chimecho is still terrible. Frostlass actually is really good. I've seen some replays with Frostlass. It is... It's good. It's good. It's really good. It is a performer. It performs well. You want it to have utility with the team, it can easily do that. You want it to have the ability to be able to with like Aurora Veil and shit. Yeah, it's only for 5 turns, but who really gives a shit about that? Base 120 speed, 140 special attack, 100% accurate blizzards. It actually is way more... It got mostly only a boost in its special defense as the other 20 stats that it ended up getting. In the 40-20-40 split it ended up having, I think. Oh no, it was like 60. I think it was 60-20-20. Yeah, it was 60-20-20. But it gets a 1.5 times boost thanks to the snow. Since it's an ice type, it benefits from its own snow that it puts down in terms of a defense boost. So it is much, much, much better. It's good. Mega Frostlass is good. Mega Frostlass is very good. In fact. Obviously we know about Dragonite. Dragonite lost Encore, obviously. Wait, Sleep and Paralysis has been nerfed. Paralysis is only a 1/8 chance to get fully immobilized? That's a big nerf. That's huge. And sleep is 1 to 2 turns. Wow, that's fucking massive. Also, you can't do 6v6 singles in Pokemon Champions, so... And also, Crabominable only got, like, Iron Fist, which is very mid. I'm seeing from a big Crabominable fan, and they're just like, wow, that is dog shit. So, my assessment of the Pokemon abilities overall, pretty dog shit. I'm going to be honest, pretty dog shit. They did my boy Skarmory dirty. Skarmory got dog shit. The only, so far, interesting good one is Floette with Fairy Aura. Giving Golurk fucking Unseen Fist is insane. I have no idea if it's nerfed or not. Okay, they nerfed Unseen Fist. Okay. That makes sense. So then it's mid. Okay, so they did nerf Unseen Fist. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's a ghost that likes punching Unseen Fist. I mean, makes sense. Okay, so they nerfed Unseen Fist. Chandelure getting Infiltrator is dog shit. Hawlucha gets no guard. What does Hawlucha get in terms of moves that can miss? Does it get, like, Cross Chop? But why use Cross Chop on Hawlucha when it gets close combat? And it already has better moves. What moves do you get that miss, buddy? Do you get Stone Edge? What do you get? Dual Wing Beat. I guess that could technically miss. Sure, man. Like, I'm trying to see, what's the justification for fucking no guard on this thing? I don't think, like, it's a good ability, but I don't think it really does. Okay, it does get Stone Edge. Okay, so 100% accurate Stone Edges. That's not bad, I guess. It's not the worst. Because all the other moves it gets are just like, I mean, it doesn't really do anything for it. It already gets close combat. It already has, I guess, like, dual wing beat never missing, I guess, is okay. Oh, high jump kick never misses. Hold on. No cost to my high jump kicks besides it pinging into protect? Okay. Actually, that's pretty good. Never mind, that's actually pretty decent. Will it justify use of Mega Hawlucha in comparison to regular Hawlucha? That's a different question, but I don't think so, but... I mean, I guess you could go like Sword Stance, Brave Bird, Stone Edge, High Jump Kick. Sure. That's not bad. It's not great, though. There's better. Okay, it's mid. It's not bad. It's not the best, but not bad. Life Orb, Choice Band, and Choice Specs have been removed from competitive Pokemon. Ew. Why? No, but Scarf is still in. Okay. I mean... Ugh. You can't really cheese with an item like Life Orb, Choice Band, or Choice Specs. Those aren't really cheesing items. It's not how that works. So, no, not really. It's just, that doesn't make any sense to me. It's just bad. I think that is really it. So yeah, sleep has been nerfed. Pokemon have a third chance waking up in the second turn. 1 out of 3 chance waking up in the second term. Will always wake up in the third term. Paralysis also has been nerfed. Speed halved. And 12.5% to not being able to move. That's a big fucking nerf. Which definitely affects the viability of paralysis, for sure. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not playing champions. I'm going to be honest. I think the Dex is it's terrible. Like, no 6v6 private games. Megastones are locked behind premium battle passes and stuff. The PvE tournament stuff they said is not there. That's awful. A lot of the ability choices are terrible. I'm going to be honest, for a lot of the new megas, like Mega Meowstic getting fucking Trace, for example, is awful. I'm going to be honest. It's really bad. Because why would you ever use Mega Meowstic when Mega Alakazam is right there? And that thing is banned. It's really good. Yeah, terrible. And the format is awful. Like, genuinely, the format is also really bad for VGC, I think. And there's no 6v6 games. Like, ugh. I think it's just bad. I think it's just awful. Not worth. It's not worth. Although, EVs apparently, I think, transfer over, so, I mean, that's okay, I guess. Man, this is... Ugh. Also, like, no Mega Metagross and Salamence allowed in the first instance of the Champions metagame. Just terrible. It's bad. I'm gonna be so fucking for real. Hot fucking Garbo. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what else to say. Like, that is so bad. I'm gonna be so for real. I think that's just awful. It's terrible. This is a bad metagame. Bad. Putungus fucking taco. Saying taco is like an L, bro, okay? And you can blame Chuck Schumer for that. Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. That's true, boy meets mini. Shut the fuck up, Putungus. You're actually fucking cringe, and I hate you. I'm... Boy meets mini, you know what to do with El Fordus Netus. You know what to do with El Fordus Netus. Eat him.
Pepe, why are you gay?
No. We are not gay. We are not gay. There is no more gay. No one is gay. No one is gay now. Doesn't that make you gay? Shut the fuck up, El Putungus. You're actually cringe. and stupid. And a homosexual. You're gay. You're gay, little bro. Okay, so I've done a bunch of work. It turns out these things are actually much faster than I thought. Shut the fuck up, putungus. I just know that was you who said that. Oh no, it was Sacrificial MILF who said that. Awkward. Fuck you, Ford. Anyways, I don't care. Man, there's a lot of shit that needs to be completely discarded from here. You're now Ford. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. We're gonna have to come up with an incredibly elaborate system in order to be able to take care of this shit. So let's get this constant combinator and see what exactly we're working with here. No, I did not put it in the input. Did I not put it in the input? Give me actually a decider combinator. Okay, so this is the shit we're working with here. A lot of random shit. A lot of useless shit and a lot of kind of useful shit. But mostly a lot of useless shit. That we need to... How the fuck did you get hit? It must have been the rocket. No, I know how that might have happened. It was probably because of the fucking rocket, and there was probably some AoE damage. Well, that could be a bit of a problem because we need that for very, very quintessential coverage. We just have to get lucky, forehead, maybe, probably. That's fine, we made it back. Now we can get our... No, I don't want to be you. Shut up, putungus. Shut the fuck up, bitch. I think we may have put too many. Yeah, 350 is too much. I think 50 is. I'm not a shapeshifter. Did that feel good? Looked like it. What are you saying right now? You're just saying words that are probably from the internet, but are probably not actually on the internet. What kind of, like, MILF babbling are you currently engaging with at the moment? Shut the fuck up, putangus. You know what, putingus? You should shit yourself now. I've had enough of your shit, putingus. Ford, Literally, widowy. Shit yourself. 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 Now. Now, putungus. Fucking putingus. Okay, fuck you, putangus. It's fucking literal fucking papega. Tomorrow is War Crimes Wednesday. Yeah, and you know what's gonna happen? Probably absolutely fucking nothing, you fucking chud. Fuck you and your chud-maxing life, putungusk.
War crime this, can't eat the drywall that, microwaving mice is wrong, they say.
You guys are giving me fucking brain damage. Says the chud who repeats the same one chud joke. Boy Meets Mini, you know what to do with El Putingus. Eat him. Eat him now. Eat him. Turn him into some butter chicken and eat him. He's mad. I'm gonna kill you. Why are you such a fucking putungus mcpungus mcpungus?
Wrap it up, dummy.
I'm going to kill you, El Fortus Netus. Oh, that was Sacrificial Elf who said that. Never mind. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna say one thing to you, okay? One thing. One thing. One thing, bastard. One thing.
The American people are tired of women.
Fuck you.
Put this. Put this.
Okay, first of all, ain't nobody talking while I'm talking, so shut the fuck up.
Put this.
You should kill yourself now. Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose.
Fuck you, Ford.
You should kill yourself now.
You're a bastard.
Put this.
That's funny. Oh, man. Funny. Man, the YouTube algorithm sure does work in strange little strange ways. All right. What are we doing? We have a lot of fucking bullshit in here. Why don't we start by making some rocket silos? We have to come up with a very, very complex and elaborate system that essentially says, hey, make all this fucking stuff here and now. We're gonna start with rocket silos, because that'll eat through a bunch of stuff. I should probably start utilizing the fucking diesel dragon. The fact that it has double the crafting speed and 12 module slots is really, really strong. In comparison to the normal thing. We should be able to make rocket silos, though. Yeah, we have everything for rocket silos. There is not a lot of stuff we need for the creation of the science pack, to be quite honest. We need steam, of which we have plenty of, and is relatively simple to come by, because all you need is ice. We have plenty of that stuff. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put this, not arithmetic combinator, we're gonna put a decider combinator right here. We're gonna use this as a monitor to see what exactly we have in here. Perfect. So, the used fuel canisters, and then used uranium fuel cells. Those we can just scrap immediately. We have zero use for them. So, most of the stuff that can just be immediately trashed, we're just going to directly take care of that stuff. So, uranium. Actually, the best way to take care of that is by getting some centrifuges, of which we don't have any. Centrifuges to turn them into uranium-238, and then recycling the uranium-238, because that'll make the process go way faster. We have zero use for uranium-238 on this planet. We don't need it. Wait, how is Hieron doing, actually, in terms of rocket ship building? Still far behind, as always. Oh, well, that's normal. It's fine. Let's at least light the place up a little bit. Lovely. These two are 640 megawatts of heat, which is not enough for the 80 heat exchangers that we have. We are simply just not producing enough energy. This is 640 megawatts of energy. We need more megawatts of energy. That is just not enough. Not enough. May have to do a fundamental redesign of this power plant here, which would be very annoying. fuck are you idiots complaining about? Oh, some putas holding some random bits of scrap. Okay, so, right. Thinking about the stuff that we have to just get rid of, / keep, / reduce down into constituent parts in order to make the stuff that we actually need in order to leave this place. Alright, so we have the necessary...
Turn off my cringe inhibitors.
Thank you.
Subscribe to it. Okay. I was fucking joking. Why did you do it?
Thank you. So we have the necessary material in order to produce rockets. That is not a problem. Alright, So the things that we need to be able to produce are green circuits, we need electric cables, and we also need a bunch of electric cables, green circuits. Those are for making the combinators. And we need pipes, steel. So pipes, steel, and a few other things. So we can make the steam turbines. No, it's gear wheels. Oh, okay, that's actually easier. Okay. Gear wheels, pipes, and... copper plates. Okay, so... copper plates. How are you going to make copper plates? We can break down electric cables, excess electric cables. Lamps can be broken down. Boilers. Boilers can get us some pipes, as well as stone furnaces, which we don't want. What the fuck did display panels make? Why the fuck do I have so many of them? Iron plates and electric circuits. Okay, that's fucking useless. Those are useless. Completely and utterly useless. We need low-density structures. For several things. We need LDS for rockets. We need it for, because here's what I can do, okay? I can immediately just leave this planet, right? I have a rocket silo. We have the material to be able to build rockets. Done easy, right? We can just leave. We can very easily just leave the planet. We can just go. We have everything. We have all the material we need just to leave. But we're not making science left yet. Because, obviously, we have to ship in rocket fuel to this planet. We don't have a choice in that matter. Rocket fuel has to be shipped in. In fact, I probably need to increase the amount that we're going to be shipping in. Which means HSSF2, you're going to be picking up more rocket fuel. because we're gonna need it. I am out of substations. Puta. We really, really need the new shitters. I think what I'm going to do is this base should just be fine if I leave it for a little bit. But I mostly came here just to get the fucking gold pipe. It's a bit of a conundrum. I really want to go and fix and just get the antimatter robots. I think I might just do that. I think it is time to fix some problems and get antimatter robots, I think. I think that is what I'm going to do. Okay, we're gonna be leaving this place for a while. And it's time to come up with a permanent solution to a problem. Okay. So, to make the stuff that we need, obviously the steam turbines, we're probably going to replace this with an active warehouse, I think, so that it takes from here first. Because everything to make the science pack can't come in here with the arithmetic combinators and also steam turbines, so we want to make sure that these get emptied out first before using the extra material we make in order to make the additional shit. So, what we need mostly are these things. We need arithmetic combinators, which is cables and circuits. So, lots of copper, lots of iron, as well as turning other things into circuits. So we need a lot of that stuff. And we need steam turbines. Steam turbines is, again, a lot of copper, a lot of iron gear wheels, and pipe, of which we can also get from recycling. All of the other stuff we get from this stuff can just be directly recycled. So, that means depleted uranium fuel cells. Those are absolutely useless. That is trash. They don't do anything. Plastic is completely useless. That is trash. We get rid of that. Steel is completely useless. That is trash. We get rid of it. Does nothing for us. Any of the highly specialized things, like, say, the supercapacitors, carbon fiber, tungsten plates. Tungsten plates do nothing for us. Holmium also does nothing for us. Lithium plates also do nothing for us. Solar panels turn into useful stuff. This turns into useful stuff. This turns into useful stuff. This turns into useful stuff. Probably the most useful stuff. Fucking lamps of all things. We're going to use the excess stone, turn it into brick. So then we can make some extra concrete to use that all up. Holmium is completely useless. We can break down the batteries. We can break down the advanced circuits. We need processing units to make certain products. Although, honestly, if it gets up above a certain threshold, we'll probably just want to recycle a bunch of it, because processing units make up a lot, and I mean a lot, of circuits. Because those are the most important things that we probably need is circuits. A lot of basic materials to, again, make a combinators, because we're gonna pull up this golden science pack. This golden science pack is it's a really weird recipe. So we have the gold plate. We make a lot of gold plate because we can just get it from space very, very easily. Very, very easily we can get it from space. Problem is, of course, all of the excess gold ore that we have in here, but we can use an input priority splitter. So we can just put it on a belt, use input priority splitter probably right around here, and just do that. So we'll just set that up real quick. Because we're definitely going to need a bunch of the gold from space in order to keep up with production. That's for certain. That is its purpose. So, this is for the gold ore. So that's the gold ore taken care of. What can we make with tungsten plate? I don't think we can make anything with tungsten plate. We just have to scrap it. Carbon fiber also scrapped. Supercapacitors. There's some useful stuff in there, but mostly scrap. Batteries can be broken down into iron and copper, which is good. Electronic circuits, so green circuits, good. We always want those. Holmium is completely useless. We don't want that at all. And superconductors only break down further into copper plates. These are pretty useless. Plastic is completely useless. Holmium is completely useless. Steel is completely useless. We don't need any of that stuff. Actually, no. Well, we need steel to make rocket silos, actually. That's the only use for steel. Just for rocket silos. That's it. Otherwise, it's completely useless. So, we'll just have to use assemblers that make steel chests and just have them operate on a particular steel threshold based off of this chest and this chest. Which is how it's going to have to work. Alright, the rockets are ready. We can get the fuck out of here. Which we will. We're gonna leave this place for now. But we'll be back. I just really need the antimatter robots, I think. I really need those antimatter robots. So we're going to completely fix Nyx. This place needs to be fixed up and flicked back on. I really need the antimatter robots. Really, really need them. We're also out of power here as well. So it's going to be a task and a half in order to fix this fucking problem. This complete debacle, to say kindly. So we're going to be stranded on that place until we can fix it. Okay, but before we leave, we'll place the substations. Let's clear up some of these little logistical problems. This place should be fine for the time being on its own. It's mostly not really doing anything. The only thing we have left to do on this planet is to just come up with a probably very overly complicated system to properly recycle everything and make all the material we need and make sure that we don't have too massive of an overflow, but we really need better bots to make this shit work before we can think about this. So we need the bots, we need the antimatter robots. That's why we're leaving. So we're gonna fix Nyx. We're out of here. But we'll be back. We'll be back. Fix Nyx. Otherwise, this place is fine. But we're not done with this place. We are not. Excuse me. We're gonna have to bring some stuff with us before we proceed. Because we're gonna need a couple of things. We're gonna need a couple of things. We're gonna grab some rocket fuel. We're gonna grab some solid fuel as well. So we'll stop by Aquilo to do that. And then we'll be along our merry way. We'll return to Frozeta soon enough. We just need to make the science pack and we're pretty much done with the planet. Also, do I not produce any of those there? I will need those active shitters. Alright, and looks like we fixed this problem over here. Fantastic. There was also another issue that needed to be fixed, was the clogging of stone, because apparently now you can recycle stone into fucking stone dust. That's a change from one of these damn mods. But hey, it's fixed, and it's back to being clogged with processing units, which is a much better problem to have than being clogged with useless fucking stone. Okay, yes, this is the place where I do produce these. That's fair. Okay, so... You... Active provider warehouses. From Fulgora, please. We'll stop by there first, because that's easy. It's quick, it's simple, it's clean. In the meantime, while we're doing all of this... Actually, no. Aquilo first. Yeah, I should just be going to Aquilo first. We're gonna grab a couple thousand of this stuff. In the meantime, we're gonna yap about videos while I'm fixing specifically all of the issues. The issues. Words of wisdom, young man. Rich words shouldn't be spoken from a poor mouth. You are way above your pay grade. This channel doesn't have the funds for this conversation. Political channels spend thousands of security for a reason. The fuck does that even mean? That's on the Asmongold video, by the way. What do you even... What do you mean by this? That's the only way. Yeah, man, because someone's going to come after me for being a tiny little fucking channel. Like, what do you think? What do you mean by that? Yeah, I don't think many rich people watch Asmongold. I'm gonna be honest. If there's rich chuds, you know who they're gonna watch? They're probably gonna watch Aiden Ross, and they're gonna skew really, really young. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, what do you mean by that? No LOL. Just what do you mean by that? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? There we go. But hey, we've cracked 540. We have been on quite the rise, I have to say. Yep. Yeah, sub to the YouTube. Oh, special election in Georgia 14, by the way. Statistical tie. 28% of the way in, I think. Plus 37 Trump district. And I think the Democrats ended up winning that one, by the way. In Georgia 14. That was Marjorie Taylor Greene's former district. Yeah. Georgia 14, man. Insane. Oh, wait, never mind. Nope. It is still held by a Republican. But it went from Trump plus 30... Well, I mean, it went from a plus 37 district to plus 14. That's still insane. Marjorie Taylor Greene was plus 29 in the district. Plus 14. I mean, that's 23. That's like a 20 plus point shift. Like, that's insane. Unseen Fist nerf, Man, I know a bunch of people are saying, like, well, Pokemon Champions seems like it's pretty good for new players to get in. I'm gonna be, I mean, sure. But are most people gonna want to play VGC? Probably not. Most people are gonna want to play singles because that's the environment that they get used to playing. Also, female Gallade? What the heck? That's crazy. Dire Claw has also been nerfed. Good nerf. That's a good nerf. What was I going to say? I forget what I was going to say. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, the thing with the format is most people are not going to engage with the doubles format because when casual players play Pokemon, what is the format they're generally speaking engaging with? Mostly singles. It's not going to be 6v6, but in terms of the harder fights, the champions fight, that's going to be 6v6 singles. It's mostly going to be single fights, right? Not necessarily doubles fights, not so much. And there's a bit of a learning curve in compare to, talk about when it comes to doubles. A bit of a learning curve there. And there's a bunch of stuff you have to learn. And you also have to sort of like rejig your brain in order to be able to lock in to be able to more effectively play in doubles. Because it's a different format. It's a completely different style. So, making it the platform, that of course being Pokemon Champions, for VGC, for competitive Pokemon, and the Pokemon made available, it's so bad. It's such a fumble. It's so terrible. Everyone's like looking at this and saying like, Don't get it twisted. There's some. I will say there are some good nerfs, some good changes. For example, Moonblast getting a nerf from 30% chance of dropping special attack by 1 stage to 10%. That's a good nerf. Unseen Fist being nerfed. That's a good nerf. The Paralysis and Sleep nerf is a good nerf, I would say. Paralysis, fucking dog shit, I'm gonna be honest. God, I hate Paralysis. So, good nerf. Some of the ability changes, I think, are also fine. But for a bunch of the other ones, the abilities on the Megas are bad. A lot of them are bad. Some of them are okay. Or good. I mean, Fairy Aura is always a good ability to give to any Fairy-type Pokemon. Mega Floette's going to be fine with Fairy Aura. It's going to be good. You'll see use. Most of the other new Megas are just fucking bad. Really bad. Like, really, really bad. As for the... whatchamacallits. A bunch of the other Pokemon... what was I saying? For a bunch of the other nerfs that happened in terms of the move pools, I think are fine. Dire Claw being nerfed, that's a good nerf. 30% from 50% is a good nerf. There's also the... some of the Pokemon losing some of their moves. Those are good nerfs. They're fine. Like Dragonite losing Encore, that's a good nerf. Body Press being lost on Arch is probably also a good nerf. That's just, like, insane. Not because of the fact that it has stamina with Body Press, that's not the problem with it. It's just the fact that it was just for the coverage for a Steel Dragon type to have, like, really good fighting coverage. Just probably too much. It was too broken. With a Pokemon as bulky as that can raise its own defense by getting hit and just essentially be an unkillable fucking demon. Which was pretty much Arch's game plan, and did a very good job at that. So that was a good nerf, I would say. As for some of the other nerfs, yeah, not anything else that I can think of. Most of the Megas are just kind of terrible. Like, their abilities are just bad. It's unfortunate. They did a bunch of them dirty. I'm going to be honest. It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate how they've done a bunch of my boys dirty. Mega Chandelure, I had high expectations. Got Infiltrator, which is not terrible, but it's not great. Skarmory, which I was just like, Tough Claws, it's going to go in. It's going to be great, fantastic. For every set, it's just good. The stats are there. Obviously, the typing is good. Everything about it is good. Get Stalwart as an ability. It's just like, ugh. And then Piercing Drill for Extra Drill. Well, Piercing Drill is fine. Not so much in a singles. Well, it's not as good in singles. But it's a fine ability. It's not bad, but... we could have done so much better. Most of the stuff that's been honestly made available, and the Pokedex that's also been made available for champions, is just bad. It's bad. Like, it's just bad. No Salamence, no Mega Metagross. Like, some of the premier VGC Mega Pokemon are just not available, and you're going to use this as your premier, like, VGC platform. Like, it's just bad. Like, what are you doing? A bunch of the other, like, premier VGC Pokemon that you had in trailers that were being used are not available as well. You just decided to cut them last minute. It's just like, okay. I mean, nice meme. They're going to have to go, like, kind of insano, stupid mode, probably with some of the patches that they're going to do, because there's going to be patches, for sure, if they want to fix this problem. Because, honestly, I think as it stands right now, I don't think you play Pokemon Champions. I think it's terrible. And a bunch of the stuff has been also paywalled immediately. A lot of the Mega Stones have been paywalled. Like, it's just, ugh. Like, what are we doing here? It's bad. It's bad. Period. End of story. It's really bad. And this is supposed to be like the premier competitive format. Not to mention, like, for some of these, some of the advertising they've done for this Pokemon is also just been fucking terrible. And by the way, from what I'm seeing for a lot of these VGC players, they're saying like, yeah, we're not playing this format. This, and I don't blame them. It's a bad format. It's really bad. Ugh. Pokemon Champions from Wolfie from 20 hours ago. I mean, I know he got to play it earlier, but he's probably going to come up with like an actual like criticism of it. He probably didn't know about like what the format was going to be and everything, yada yada yada. And it's just like, and here's the funny thing: from what I understand from all the VGC players, they have said, oh, Incineroar lost U-turn. Okay, interesting. Freeze has also been nerfed. Lasts up to 3 turns with and the chance from getting thawed has been increased to 25% each turn. Okay, sure, man. Whatever. Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, most of Golurk's moves don't even make contact. Oh man, yeah, that's true. Unseen Fist is actually terrible on Golurk. Man, those shot-up punches are gonna go crazy. Its 2 main stabs are Earthquake and Poltergeist. Yeah, Unseen Fist is terrible on Golurk. Never mind, that's dog shit. A terrible ability. Should have kept No Guard. No Guard would have been good. At least you can use Dynamic Punch. Oh, never mind, this thing sucks. Yeah, this is terrible. I'm gonna be honest, it's just bad. It's just bad. Bad, 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 bad. Bad, 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 bad. Bad, 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 bad. And there's also, like, a loss of a bunch of items as well. Like, it's just bad, man. In so many ways that this could have been bad, it's just bad. Bad, 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 bad. Bad, 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 bad. It's just bad. God, they brought in fucking Watchhog of all things as well into fucking channel. Okay, bro. Yeah, because people are gonna use Watchhog. Stupid. It's so bad. Yeah, I'm just like looking at it and it's just terrible. Guys, I think ILCA has done it again. That's probably true. Like, ick. Wait, they were the guys who made BDSP? Oh, okay. Well, that explains everything. The guys who made BDSP made another terrible Pokemon game. Okay. Whatever. Nice meme. Wait, some Pokemon gain a second passive ability? What the fuck does that even mean? Ugh. But yeah, I guess that's my assessment of Pokemon Champions. Don't play it. Don't play it until they start patching. I'm gonna be honest. It's literal 2-pack ass, I think. Literal 2-pack ass. Okay, I think because I've been faffing about for a little too long. Yeah, it's been about an hour and a half and it's almost 1. Alright, we're gonna save the fucking man dating thing for tomorrow then. Fuck my life. There's more important things we have to talk about. Like Iran. Oh boy, Iran. Okay. I got too distracted talking about fucking Pokemon shit. That's fine. Oh, excuse me. Okay. That's fine. I see a bunch of people are shitting on No Guard for Hawlucha. I'm gonna be honest, that is not the worst one. I'm gonna be... Yeah, I'm gonna be so for real. That is not the worst one. Champions OU will rival BDSP OU. That's funny. Yeah, that is not the worst thing, I'm gonna be honest. Oh my god, and Penguin and Charlie talked about the fucking Pokemon Go situation as well. That's insane. The Pokemon Go Firestar situation where he did his little fist bump to celebrate that he won the tournament. That man talked about it. Oh boy. Because, like, listen, I think everyone can universally agree that Pokemon deeming that a fist bump to celebrate a victory in a tournament is unsportsmanlike conduct that is insane. That's genuine fucking insanity. I think the dude also went on Hungrybox's stream as well to talk. And just be like, yeah, this is my side of the story. Here's what happened, blah, 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 blah. And now this got fucking covered by Charlie. Yeah, it's nuts. God, even the items that are available for fucking Pokemon Champions they're just not good. There's like, I look at all the items and there's only like 2 good ones. Like, am I mostly going to be using like specific type 20% boosters? No, like, I guess, because there's no other fucking items. So what, we have the weakness reduction berries, which are good. All of the 20% one particular type boosting items, which is okay, whatever. Extra belt, focus sash, which is a good item, leftovers, and there's only one choice item, and that's the choice scarf. No band, no specs, no life orb, and all of the new, because Gen 9 OU and Gen 9 VGC specifically, most players broadly regard as probably the best era of competitive Pokemon is Gen 9 VGC, because Game Freak did a very, very good job supporting it, right? A lot of the new items, like Covert Cloak, Clear Amulet, I think there's a couple others as well, are really, really good items that are very valuable and saw a lot of uses and plays, depending, of course, on the situation, but they were good items. Even in, like, Generation 9 OU, Covert Cloak's been used. It's a good item, solid item. Specifically for stopping, like, Salt Cure from Garganackle, which is where it's good. It's like, oh wow, there's some good stuff here. There's a lot of good items here. There's a lot of stuff that's solid and very good. A lot of the Pokemon are also really, really good. And then, like, you go to Champions, you see the items, and it's just like, what the fuck is this? They, like, slashed, like, over half of the good items. There's not a lot of options here. Like, sure, like, the pinch berries, well, not even the pinch berries, those are gone as well. The weakness reduction berries, yeah, they're good items, but highly situational, and depending on the Pokemon, very dependent on the Pokemon, and most of the Pokemon that would use them don't have the ability to be able to use them. There's a bunch of Mega Stones that are probably missing as well that you have to earn. It's bad. Like, it's really bad. It's honestly, it's terrible, dude. Ugh. Not the Mega Golurk fan account baiting me into basically saying that Golurk got fucking Rage Fist. Now, if Golurk got Rage Fist, okay, now we're talking. Now we're actually going to see some use from that Unseen Fist ability, but nah. A Headlong Rush is good, though. That's good. That's pretty good. But yeah, that's, man. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Anywho, okay, enough rambling about Pokemon. No more getting fucking upset anymore. I'm gonna be honest. Wait, and apparently Pokemon Champions also runs really bad. Giving mobile game slop syndrome, it runs so bad it just kicked me out of a bot battle. That's fucking hilarious. Jesus Christ. Very, very funny. Most disappointing thing about Pokemon Champions is that I can't make jokes about Urshifu anymore. Oh, man. Real human beings are going to be spending their hard-earned money to fly to Indianapolis to complete in this quote-unquote game next month. That's funny. Yeah, it's a bad bad. Really, really bad. It's really bad, folks. The worst boss. It's so bad, so terrible. Well, good to know that that game is a complete wash, and to avoid like the plague, just play Pokemon Showdown instead. Oh man. My teams will consist of one Focus Band, one King's Powder, Bright Powder, one King's Rock, one Quick Claw, one Choice Scarf, one Focus Sash. Let's go gambling. For those who don't know, Focus Band is the same as Focus Sash, but it is not a guarantee that you will live at 1 HP. Focus Sash is a consumable item where you are guaranteed to live at 1 HP if you take a move that would KO you. You are guaranteed to live. Focus Band can repeat that, but it's a 10% chance, which is why it's bad. Bright Powder gives you a 20% boost to your evasion, or is it 10%? I don't remember exactly. It's banned because evasion's bullshit and no one fucking likes that shit, so who really cares? King's Rock gives you it's either I think it's a 20% chance to flinch on hits, so it's good on multi-hit moves because you can make it such that you have like an 80+% chance to flinch the Pokemon in front of you. But most of the Pokemon that would be able to abuse that don't exist, so it's terrible. And the Quick Claw basically raises your priority up to, I think, +6, or the maximum, on a move, 10% of the time. So it's also terrible. Please get Drizzle. Fuck! Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It's only been like the only things that have happened is just 2 out of 10 stuff. I'm gonna be honest. Bad. Bad, 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 dude. Alright. No more faffing about. I'm gonna go get some water. I'm gonna get water. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, stretch my legs, do all that good shit. I will be right back. Who? We're so Barack Hussein Obama. Man, liberals really need to learn what people mean by they do not like the Democratic Party. Fucking voters are idiots. They are dumbasses. They will say that they hate the Democratic Party, right? For good reasons. You should not like the Democratic Party. But what do they mean exactly by we do not like the fucking goddamn Democratic Party? What they mean, generally speaking, is, they really, really, really despise, the leadership. But they'll just sort of project that on the whole entirety of the party. Why is that? Because voters are idiots, and they are not well educated. But liberals don't fucking understand that. Or liberals, rather, I'd say. It's mostly like the blue MAGA dipshits. They don't get it. It's like rocket science to these people. They do not understand it. Because they don't care. Because if they can be about as ineffective as possible in terms of politics, they will be. They do not give a flying fuck. Because, God, they fucking suck. Alright. Let's get her started, right? I do find it funny that Marjorie Taylor Greene has a former congresswoman in her fucking name. I mean, it's true. She is a former congresswoman. I just find it really funny that she has it there. Yeah, former points. Former. She's not one anymore. Hilarious. The Golurk fan account is so funny. Very funny. Alright, let's get started with the fucking shit show, shall we? It is time to get in the fucking Papega shit show fest. It appears that we have found ourselves at another, shall we say, day of judgment moment. It is the day, the bombing power plants day, the bombing bridges day, if there is no, I guess, resolution found to the current war of choice by, well, the US and Israel. And we're all starting off immediately with this post from the big orange man himself. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. So, I guess genocide is on the table now with Trump. Very, very fucking cool. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have a complete and total regime change, still doesn't understand what regime change means. I don't know how many times this needs to be said. There's still a Khamenei at the top of the fucking supreme leadership or supreme leader of Iran. It's stupid. Where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long, complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. Yeah, less radicalized, by the way. To say that they're less radicalized is incredibly fucking stupid. Should really go without saying. The most radicalized fucking elements, I'm gonna be honest, are now, of the IRGC, have basically had all of their fucking affirmations confirmed. And it should be fairly obvious why. Their position is that there is no point in negotiating at all whatsoever with either the Israelis or the US, considering the fact that they kept bombing all of their diplomats, the fact that they have been not receptive at all in terms of any of the Iranians' asks or demands or any form of negotiations whatsoever. So what is the point? Even the people that they negotiate with, that being Witkoff and Jared Kushner, are two bumbling idiots who barely understand any of the fucking topics that they're getting into. Stupid. But besides all that, the copium huff there by Donald Trump and announcing genocidal intent, seemingly, certainly having the world on edge with this fucking goddamn truth, I guess, for lack of a better term. We have, and this is genuinely insane to say, Marjorie Taylor Greene advocating for the 25th Amendment. She wants Trump to be impeached over this alone, making Republicans feel nervous. Now, I can't really blame her for saying this. Where she's coming from with this is correct. This is genuinely fucking insane, because it's just like, what do you mean by this? Like, are you gonna nuke Iran or something? What the fuck is going on? Genuinely, this is insane. And all because they didn't want to agree to your dumbass 15-point peace plan, which the Iranians were never going to agree to because they have no reason to agree to it, because they have current strategic initiative within the war. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why would they agree to this? Stupid. And it's so bad that Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying this. I know a bunch of people were also saying, like, yeah, this is pretty genocidal intent here by... And this is people from the media. Keep in mind, the media will do literally anything to sane wash the fucking president. Anything to sane wash him. And they were saying that this is insane. This is like a new level of what Trump is saying. Obviously, all the sycophants and people like Asmongold are not going to give a fuck about that because they wanted genocide to begin with. And most of these people are in a cult. They want to just, like, kill people for the sake of killing people because... insane, just insane-o nutso people. Like, well, you can't fucking live with these people. You can't treat them as, like, your equal, because it's just like, yeah, you're insane. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is the United States of America. You guys are supposed to be the ones who helped to stop a genocide in the Holocaust, but now you want to do one on the fucking Iranians. Nuts. Genuinely insane. So we have Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course, saying 25th Amendment. Obviously, a bunch of other people are saying this as well. We have Alex Jones also calling for the fucking 25th Amendment on Donald Trump because of this message. Now, again, here's the thing specifically with someone like Alex Jones, and I would also throw in Marjorie Taylor Greene into this as well. Do not believe anything that comes out of these people's mouths. They understand that the Trump ship is sinking, and they are looking for their next grift.
How do we 25th Amendment?
The problem is to get the 25th Amendment is harder than impeachment. You have to get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate.
So what do we do?
That's true.
Tackle Trump and let him pretend he's president and publicly report that he's going through a health issue and Vance take over.
Dude, they're suggesting to do a fucking conspiracy. Tackle Trump, like, put him into jail, like, I don't know, like, kidnap him or something. Have JD Vance be the, like, main talking head of the presidency or something. The question is like, I mean, this is objectively fucking hilarious that it's coming from these two. I mean, they're grifters. They don't believe in this in reality, but the fact that they're making this suggestion is fucking insane, man.
It literally needs to be something like that. It's that bad.
How do we
Dude, you know it's bad when these two fucking schizos are saying, like, you need to tackle Trump, like, hog tie him and just, like, put him in a closet somewhere. Oh my lord. And here we also have Tucker Carlson also saying that, yeah, it's really, really bad. Yeah, they're plotting a coup. True, Alex.
It is vile on every level. It begins with a promise to use the U.S. military, our military, to destroy civilian infrastructure in another country, which is to say to commit a war crime, a moral crime against the people of the country.
Now, bad news, Tucker, because, again, you don't have any moral clarity in this whatsoever. You had no problem chumming it up with with Donald Trump, all the oil executives, in when they did the kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro. They also destroyed civilian infrastructure there as well, Tucker. We have to be a little consistent here, but you had no problem with Nicolas Maduro being fucking kidnapped. You don't have any principled stance when it comes to your quote-unquote American anti-imperialist bona fides, because you'll do all the exact same Pax Americana fucking LARP as every other, like, far-right dipshit.
Those people who are in direct contact with the president need to say, no, I'll resign. I'll do whatever I can do legally to stop this because this is insane. And if given the order, I'm not carrying it out.
I think, unironically, AOC and all of the progressive Democrats have said, like, it is your moral duty to disobey any orders. If he actually decides to follow through with this, disobey your orders. Like, if your commanding officers tell you to do this, you disobey. Period. End of story, pretty much. Disobey those orders, which is exactly what those 6 sitting Democrats are saying. Like, if you are given an unlawful order, you disobey it, which is standard U.S. military doctrine. But Trump was trying to have those guys be, unironically, like, impeached from their positions of power because of the fact that they dared to suggest that lowly peasants beneath him cannot, well, listen to his insano, nutso fucking orders from on high saying that, you know, it's time to quote-unquote, like, genocide fucking Iranians, which is genuinely fucking insane that he was suggesting to do that. It's obviously a war crime. Donald Trump loves doing war crimes. He loves war crimes. I mean, literally the whole war started with a fucking war crime and bombing a little girls' school. So the fact that he wants to start bombing, like, civilian infrastructure shouldn't really be surprising whatsoever. And here are all the Democratic members who are saying that Trump needs to be removed via the 25th Amendment. Obviously, this is nowhere near enough. It should be every single fucking Democrat. But guess who you're not going to see here? Let me see. We definitely do not see what? I don't see Chuck Schumer. Do we see? Do we see Chuck Schumer? Chuck Schumer? Chucky boy, where you at, Chucky boy? What about Hakeem Jeffries? I'm not seeing Hakeem Jeffries here either. I wonder why they're not there. Curious. Because I think the only thing that Hakeem Jeffries released was like some strongly worded letter. Oh man, a strongly worded letter. And Chuck Schumer basically said, another strongly worded letter. Oh boy, a strongly worded fucking letter. As if the fucking dumbass president that's in power right now is going to give a shit about a strongly worded fucking letter. Genuinely insane. Like, this is what you should do specifically with Trump, because what he wants is genuinely fucking insane. Like, he's advocating for a fucking genocide. But is this going to, culminate into anything? Probably not. Right? For impeachment to actually happen, for the 25th Amendment to actually happen, they would need 2/3 in the House, not happening in a Republican-controlled House, and 2/3 in the Senate, not happening in a Republican-controlled Senate, and you wouldn't even know what John Fetterman would do specifically. Probably vote against it because he's a Republican. Duh. So, impeachment, not possible. Never gonna fucking happen. Genuinely fucking insane that this is the position that we find ourselves under. But, I mean, it's a little too fucking late, guys. Like, he should have been impeached for all of his fucking crimes, like, fucking forever ago. It's fucking insane. But here, just to get into, because, by the way, if you think that the oil markets are going to get better after any of this bullshit, even if he backs off from this, and we'll get to what happened eventually. Don't you worry, okay? Because, spoiler alert, he backs off. Oil as a physical commodity, in terms of its pricing, is insane. Genuinely fucking insane. So, dated Brent, this is the physical spot price of crude oil barrels, is at $140. If we are assuming and operating under the assumption that he backs off of this completely, this is not going to change. The global supply of oil has already been disrupted to a ridiculous fucking degree, okay? This is not going to fucking accomplish anything whatsoever. This price is not going to change. Even if there is a ceasefire, even if there is a complete total peace within the Middle East, is anything going to change? Is anything going to happen in terms of these fucking supply shocks and disruptions? Absolutely the fuck not. Why? Because of the fact that, well, we know the Strait of Hormuz is more than likely fucking mined. The only people who can get through that is the Iranians. They are the only ones who probably know how to get through that stuff. The disruptions that have been happened because of this, it is genuinely fucking insane. Like, absolutely fucking nuts. It's nuts. What are we supposed to do about this? What are you supposed to do? Oil is a physical commodity, because obviously, as expected from the futures market, obviously took quite a tumbling down, but it did immediately start going a bit back up. So it took a massive, because it got up to about $120, I think, $114. Took a massive downward swing and started going back up. Right around the closing of the market. Because again, like I've said before, investors are complete fucking morons. They are stupid people. They're just saying like, oh, Trump is saying that there's going to be peace. Oh, cool, fantastic. You got a ceasefire? Oh boy. Like, we need to, I don't know, have the price fucking come crashing down. Because these people are complete idiots. Like, it doesn't matter what these people say. We all know what the purpose of this, with Trump with his like fire and fury fucking rhetoric, and then immediately backing off. It's just to manipulate the markets. That's the whole point of this. Up and down, up and down. So again, because there was a report also saying that there was another insider trade who made, I think, like $27 million with a fucking trade. So we know that there's nothing but insider trading happening in this administration. It is highly fucking corrupt. But here's the thing. With the physical spot price with say Brent crude or WTI, at some point in time, right? Because oil is a physical commodity, eventually it's just going to go up. There's going to be inflationary pressures, and it's going to cause a crash on the economy. And there is absolutely nothing that anyone can do about it, right? Oil, like I've said before, physical commodity. Currently, the world is burning through a lot of its fucking strategic reserves because of Trump's general fucking stupidity. And the fact that he went into an elective war of choice alongside the Israelis. Speaking of the Israelis, how Trump took the U.S. to a war with Iran. This was a New York Times article that came out today, which, guess what, pretty much confirms what everyone is saying. You blame Israel for this. This is all fucking Israel's fault. Genuinely insane. In a series of Situation Room meetings, President Trump weighed his instincts against the deep concerns of his vice president in a pessimistic intelligence assessment. Here is the inside story of how he made the fateful decision. U.S. and Israeli officials gathered first in the cabinet room adjacent to the Oval Office. Then Mr. Netanyahu headed downstairs for the main event, a highly classified presentation on Iran for President Trump and his team in the White House Situation Room, which is rarely used for in-person meetings with foreign leaders. Should be fairly obvious why that's probably the case. The Situation Room, highly sensitive intelligence data, generally speaking, is being shared there. The fact that there is a foreign leader that's in there should say something specifically. There's some weird fucking collusionary fuck shit that's happening here. Trump sat down, but on his usual position at the head of the conference table. Instead, the president took a seat on the one side, facing the large screens mounted alongside the wall. Netanyahu saw on the other side, directly opposite of the president. Appearing on the screen beside the prime minister was David Barena, the director of Mossad, Israel's foreign intelligence agency, as well as Israeli military officials. Arrayed visually behind Mr. Netanyahu, they created an image of a wartime leader surrounded by his team, of course. Susie Wiles, White House Chief of Staff, sat at the far end. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Dan Kane, Pete Hegseth, John Radcliffe, Kushner, and Steve Witkoff were all there. The gathering had been kept deliberately small to guard against leaks. Other top cabinet secretaries had no idea it was happening. Also absent was the vice president. He was in Azerbaijan, and the meeting had been scheduled on a short notice that he was unable to make back in time. Presentation that Mr. Netanyahu would make over the next hour would be pivotal in setting the United States and Israel on the path toward a major armed conflict in the middle of one of the world's most volatile regions. And it would lead to a series of discussions inside the White House over the following days and weeks, the details of which had not been previously reported, in which Mr. Trump weighed his options and the risks before giving the go-ahead to join Israel in attacking Iran. So far, we definitely know. We definitely fucking know that, guess what? These motherfuckers did not listen to the generals. Every fucking general was saying, do not attack Iran. We are not ready to do this. This is a really bad idea. Didn't listen to this. Preferred to listen to Benjamin Netanyahu instead, who's been fiending for this war for such a long fucking time. The account of how Mr. Trump took the United States into war is drawn from reporting in the forthcoming book, Regime Change Inside the Imperial Presidency of Donald Trump. It reveals the deliberations inside the administration highlighted in the president's instincts, his inner circle's fractures, and the way he runs the White House. It draws on extensive interviews conducted on the condition of anonymity to recount internal discussions and sensitive issues. The reporting underscores how closely Mr. Trump's hawkish thinking aligned with Mr. Netanyahu's over many months. Because we all know, Mossad in Israel probably has some weird fuck shit on him. More so than even some of the president's key advisors recognize. Their close association has been an enduring feature across two administrations, and that dynamic, however fraught at times, has fueled intense criticism and suspicion on both the left and the right of American politics, and it shows how, at the end, even the more skeptical members of Trump's war cabinet, with the stark exception of Mr. Vance, the figure inside the White House most opposed to full-scale war, deferred to the president's instincts, including his abundant confidence that the war would be quick and decisive. The White House declined to comment. We know that that's exactly what Benjamin Netanyahu pitched them, that it would be quick and really fucking easy. Obviously, it's not been that. Mr. Netanyahu made a hard sell, suggesting that Iran was ripe for regime change and expressing the belief that a joint U.S.-Israeli mission could finally bring an end to the Islamic Republic. So all the talking points, for example, of the protests that were happening in Iran, because they were happening right around this time, where apparently 30,000, but 45,000, but 60,000 But now 40,000 protesters have allegedly fucking died. Not to say that protesters have not died. There definitely have been protesters who died. But at those numbers, we have no idea. Probably not. At one point, the Israelis played for Mr. Trump a brief video that included a montage of potential new leaders who could take over, including Reza Pahlavi, the exiled son of the last Shah, now a Washington-based dissident who had tried to position himself as a secular leader. Yeah, you went to CPAC, it didn't fucking work. Netanyahu and his team outlined conditions they portrayed as pointing to a near-certain victory. Iran's ballistic program could be destroyed in a couple of weeks. Not the case. Regime would be so weakened it could not choke off the Strait of Hormuz. Oh my god, it was Israel that convinced them that they could not. Oh my fucking lord. Oh. Dude, it really is just blame Israel. It really is just blame Israel for fucking everything. Like, what are you talking about? It does not take very much time in order to choke off the Strait of Hormuz. It's really easy, actually. You don't need expensive drones to be able to fucking choke that shit off. And putting mines in the strait, not very difficult. You can do that remotely with drones or just speedboats. And they really thought that Iran would be too weak to choke off the strait. Oh my fucking god, dude. Jesus Christ, man. Well, I guess Trump's military cabinet's not the only gaggle of complete sycophants and dipshits. It's also the, well, fucking Israelis as well. Yeah, I guess everyone does not understand the power of a suicide drone. Jesus Christ, man. And the likelihood that Iran would land blows against U.S. interests in neighboring countries was assessed as minimal. Oh my god. Because we all know that Israeli intelligence is, for the most part, pretty bunk. Right? They really thought... Oh my lord. They really fucking thought that Mossad's intelligence said that the street protests were going to have such a fucking destabilizing factor that Iran was going to be really, really weak because of that. When that was just not the case. It definitely had an effect, but did it weaken the regime? Not really. The regime didn't really give a shit. If anything, the regime has now been strengthened. Like, because now the regime has been able to use nationalistic fervor and has been calling on the people of Iran, because this is the thing that's happening, to form, like, human chains to protect their civilian infrastructure. They've been standing on bridges, forming human shields. They've been standing by power plants, forming human shields, which is, by the way, just real quick, not the same as how Israel is describing how Palestinians were using human shields in order to protect themselves from, like, bullets or whatever. These are people doing it in protest to try to protect civilian architecture from the United States to not have them commit a fucking war crime. Completely fucking different. Stupid. But then again, Israel and the United States, not very fucking intelligent. Mossad's intelligence indicated that street protests inside Iran would begin and with the impetus of the Israeli spy agency helping to foment riots and rebellion. Well, we all know that did not work. An intense bombing campaign could foster the conditions for the Iranian opposition to overthrow the regime. The Israelis also raised the prospect of Iranian Kurdish fighters crossing the border from Iraq to open a ground front into the northwest, from further stretching the regime's forces and accelerating its collapse. The CIA tried to give them a bunch of weapons and tried to give, incentives for the Kurds to be able to help foment a regime change in the in Iran. What did the Kurds say? No. They said, nah, we're not gonna do that, G. So, yeah. And Netanyahu delivered his presentation in a confident monotone. Yeah, nice fucking goddamn fucking intelligence you had there, Mossad and Benjamin Netanyahu. It's unironically because of these two fucking morons operating off of really, really bad intelligence that this fucking war ended up happening. Oh my lord, man. You can't hate Israel enough, like, unironically. You really cannot hate Israel enough. And now it's been a complete 5-week quagmire where the administration has just been floundering about, just wondering what the fuck to do, and how, oh, Israel fucking lied to them. Here's what's happened. It turns out there is now apparently a ceasefire, and hostilities have now stopped for 2 weeks. Genuinely fucking insane that this is now happening. Oh my fucking lord. So yeah, he ended up fucking backing out and capitulating completely to the 10-point plan of the Iranians. Just to go over that real quick. A commitment to non-aggression. Iran will have full control over the Strait of Hormuz. Iran will be allowed to further enrich uranium. Lifting of all of the sanctions. Every fucking sanction has now been completely lifted. Termination of all UN Security Council resolutions against the Iranians. Termination of all Board of Governors resolutions. Paying compensation to Iran. Withdrawal of US combat forces from the region. Cessation of war on all fronts, including Lebanon. And Trump says this plan is a workable basis. I don't think that is the exact version. Let me get the exact version. Here, this is the exact version. This is, I'm going to tell you right now, massive strategic defeat here by the United States, unless they are just deciding to not actually listen to it whatsoever. So, guarantee that Iran will not be attacked again. Permanent end to the war, not just a ceasefire. We'll get to that. End to Israeli strikes in Lebanon. We'll get to that. Lifting of all U.S. sanctions on Iran. We'll get to that. End of all regional fighting across Iranian allies. The Iranians would then reopen the Strait of Hormuz. They would impose a $2 million fee per ship. So they're going to start tolling ships from going through the Strait of Hormuz. They would split these fees with Oman because of how the borders of it work. It's a little weird. Whatever. And they would establish safe rules for passage through the Hormuz because they know where the mines are, in comparison to the United States, who probably don't know. And Iran would use Hormuz fees, all of the fees they would collect from the tolls that they would be putting on there. They're like, unironically, it's like the same shit that they do on, like the Ottoman Empire would do constantly in terms of tolling, like ships going through the Mediterranean. Very, very funny. And they would use this in order to do the reconstruction of their country in comparison to reparations, which was what they originally wanted to do. So, yeah, this is the JCPOA on steroids, and Trump decided to capitulate to that and give them all of this. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think they're going to follow through with this. I really don't think so. Mostly because of this point right here, the third point, end to Israeli strikes in Lebanon. I don't think they're going to do this. Because Israel thrives on war. Their economy exists to just do war. Of course, there are reports saying that Netanyahu, let me just grab this real quick. Here we go. There are claims saying that, and it's coming from Israeli sources, saying that they are supporting the temporary ceasefire with Iran, which does not include Lebanon, against the Iranian Supreme National Security claims that America has fundamentally committed to stopping war on all fronts, which includes Lebanon. So, okay, it's a little confusing. So, what they're essentially saying here directly fucking contradicts the fucking third point of the peace plan. So they're going to keep going with the invasion of fucking Lebanon. So much for this fucking ceasefire. So part of it is already fucking broken. it's a complete fucking shit show. Should be fucking expected here. So, like I expected, Israel not going along with this because they were not, from what I understand, not even included in the negotiations alongside, because the Pakistanis were acting as a mediator. Yep, boy meets mini. Pakistan, the mediator. Very, very cool. So the Iranians were speaking through Pakistan because of the initial threat that Trump was making. The Iranians closed all diplomatic ties with the United States. They were not going to talk with them because they were obviously treating what they said what the Trump said very, very seriously. So they did not want to talk with the United States anymore. Makes a lot of fucking sense. So they started speaking through Pakistan instead. And this was the 10-point peace plan that they relayed through Pakistan, and Pakistan relayed that to the United States of America instead. So Pakistan was the mediator, and apparently Trump was the main guy, decided to agree to this 10-point plan, which is already being broken by the Israelis. Very, very cool. Why don't we get to what Trump is saying here? Based on conversations with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Asim Munir of Pakistan, and wherein they requested that I hold off the destructive force being sent tonight to Iran. There was a bunch of B-52s in the air. They were forced to turn back. And subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz, by you handing over control completely of the strait to the Iranians, which is very, very funny. I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. This is a double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing this is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives, which have been constantly shifting over and over and over again. Very, very funny. And are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. Okay, there was already peace in the Middle East, relatively speaking, I guess. There was tensions rising because of Israel's actions with the fucking genocide. Very, very cool. And as well as with all the rising tensions, there was relative peace. No one was fighting each other yet until you and Israel decided to start bombing Iran at your own volition and allowing the Israelis to continue with their actions that Joe Biden also signed the permission structure for that Israel was doing in order to start bombing Lebanon, the West Bank, and fucking Gaza. It's genuinely fucking insane, dude. Yeah, man, but you guys are gonna get peace in the Middle East. Sure, dude. We received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it is a workable basis on which to negotiate. So, yeah, he is saying that is a workable basis, so it's a point to sort of start from, which is Iran's sort of maximalist sort of needs. So he's going to start negotiations from there. But does that mean they actually did agree to a ceasefire? I guess they're not going to be, like the United States and Iran are not going to be firing at each other. Like there's probably not going to be any more bombing specifically from the United States. But nothing has been indicated really at all in terms of Iran and the Israelis, because we know that Benjamin Netanyahu already broke one of the tenets of the 10-point proposal from the Iranians. So Jesus fucking Christ, it's a complete fucking shit show, because the Israelis, from what I understand, were not included in any of the ceasefire negotiations at all. It's insane, dude. Oh, 1000%, Alex. Like, Trump's not going to discipline Israel on this whatsoever. And Israel is already not following the tenets of the ceasefire. So, again, it's already fucking broken. Hilarious. Almost all various points of a past contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consummated. He definitely didn't write this, by the way. On behalf of the United States, as president and also representing the countries of the Middle East, it is an honor to have this long-time problem close to a resolution that you just started for no reason. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. And yeah, he's doing another fucking co-post about this, saying that this is going to be the golden age of the Middle East. Yeah, man, totally. It's so fucking goofy. So yeah, the full details. 2-week pause is subject to Iran agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. Trump describes this as a double-sided ceasefire brokered by Pakistan. What I'm assuming he probably means by this is the Iranians and the U.S. are probably not going to be shooting at each other anymore. Trump says the U.S. have already met and exceeded all military objectives. It's not true, but whatever. Trump says the U.S. and Iran are far along with a definitive agreement for long-term peace. Every single time the Iranians have spoken on this, they have said the exact opposite. Trump says Iran's 10-point peace proposal is a workable basis, and this 2-week period will allow an agreement to be finalized. So he's basically capitulating to all of the maximalist demands of the Iranians in order to try to negotiate something further, right? Just initial 2-week ceasefire and see if they can, like, negotiate somewhere. By the way, the Iranians said themselves that they agreed to it tentatively on state TV, saying, like, okay, yeah, sure, we can use this as a basis to start negotiations, right? And obviously, we know what the 10-point peace plan is. But, like I said before, given the fact that essentially one of the tenets of the ceasefire has already been broken because Benjamin Netanyahu has not agreed to the temporary ceasefire whatsoever, because they have like a technicality saying like, well, it doesn't actually include Lebanon in the peace talks, and we also weren't included in the peace talks, so we're just going to keep doing our invasion of fucking Lebanon. So technically speaking, we don't agree with this whatsoever. And obviously the Israeli media said that they were agreeing to the fucking ceasefire, with, of course, no fucking official confirmation, which, again, given this reporting right here, is certainly throwing a wrench in terms of the Israelis agreeing to the ceasefire. We have the Iranians attacking Israel with cluster munitions after Trump, well, announcing a fucking ceasefire. And there was a lot of attacks all over the place in Israel taking place. Various ballistic missile attacks, cluster munitions, and other various attacks were happening all across the fucking country of Israel, right? I'm not exactly sure where this was happening in Israel, but basically everywhere there have been ballistic missile attacks all over the place in Israel. If I could just like pull up live UA map real quick. Hi, Ukraine. I want... Did I not fucking update this shit yet? God damn it. But here, real quick, this is live UA map. The Iranians have started doing attacks all over the place in the Gulf states again, and they have also specifically started doing a bunch of attacks here within Israel. This has been broadly speaking reported by a bunch of different journalistic outlets, and has been broadly speaking also recorded in a bunch of differing fucking maps. There is a bunch of attacks that are still happening all across the Middle East because of the fact that the tenets of the ceasefire have already been completely broken by, well, the Israelis, and, well, specifically, yeah, just the Israelis. Like, let me just grab another fucking map real quick. Here. These are all of the attacks that are happening all over the place. All of these red pips that are happening right now in Israel, these are all Iranian attacks with various fucking ballistic missiles. They are all over the fucking country. Let's be quite honest here. Like, it is genuinely insane. Yeah, like what else is there to really say besides this is fucking nuts? Obviously, this was going to fucking happen, right? Because of the fact that Israel is still conducting the invasion of Lebanon as we speak in the current moment. So, I don't know. It makes sense that the Iranians are going to keep attacking Israel at this particular juncture. Like, duh, obviously. What else is there to really say? Like, the tenets of the ceasefire have already been broken because the Israelis are not pulling out of fucking Lebanon. They're still in Lebanon and they're still going ahead with the fucking invasion. It's a complete shit show. This has already been essentially fucking broken. Is there going to be negotiations now between the Iranians and the United States? Are they going to continue using this ceasefire, which is already, I guess, technically speaking, broken, as the basis of further negotiations? I have no fucking idea. We all know that, again, Donald Trump only wanted to do this to calm down the oil futures market, which, by the way, it's only going to start going back up. Yeah, there's been a huge dip, but, oh, trust me, when there is when the markets probably are going to open back up, this shit's probably going to go way up, because we have no idea what the United States are going to do, considering the fact that, oh, these attacks just fucking happened not that long ago. And we all know, given the fact that oil is a, well, physical commodity, and there's been a huge, like, disruption within the fucking goddamn market already, that it's still going to have all of these inflationary fucking byproducts and consequences to the fact that, oh, the United States and Israel decided to go ahead with this attack in Iran to begin with. I don't think I really have to keep reiterating, but it is a complete, utter fucking shit show. This was not really reasoned or rationed out, reasoned out, I think, for, like, under any circumstance by any party involved. I'm going to be honest. The Iranians are the only ones who have been, I don't know, like, acting justified in any of these negotiations. Like, I'm trying to think, like, just in terms of, like, I don't know what to say. It's just a complete shit show. It's a complete crapshoot. And we all know who's causing this exactly. It's because of these two dipshits who went in, gave a presentation for an hour, and convinced President Trump in order to do the fucking bombing of Iran. It's genuinely insane. When everyone else was saying within the Pentagon and all the military advisors saying, like, we're not ready for this. This is a really bad idea. Do not fucking do this. We should really not be doing this. It's genuinely insane. It is unironically a fucking death pact with Israel. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, any other way to put this, but it is just a death pact with Israel. The United States and Israel are like this in terms of tanking the entirety of the global economy. For what purpose exactly? Just because they feel like it. Because YOLO swag, 420. Fuck it. Who cares? Obviously, it's a little more complicated than that. Various interests are coalescing in order to be able to come together in order to go ahead with these attacks. You know, security firms, military-industrial complex, evangelical, also, like, death cultists as well. It's a little more fucking complicated than that. And Trump also wants to try to manipulate the futures market yet again, when they were initially saying, like, yeah, we're not going to listen to this fucking dipshit claim that there's going to be a ceasefire anymore. It's not going to work anymore. And by the way, the S&P 500 also is not taking the bait on this either. I guess the oil futures markets decided to not take the bait on this this time again, and are deciding to listen to this complete roving band of, like, insane lunatic dipshits. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is not going to last forever, because the bombings are probably going to continue relatively fucking soon, because the tenets of the ceasefire have already been fucking delayed. So, like, what, I don't know. This is not going to fucking like last for forever. Eventually, as has been said here, the physical spot prices, they're going to catch up eventually, and it's going to cause a complete collapse of the fucking market, of the global fucking economy, all because of two insane fucking morons, these Jewish supremacists, these insane Zionist, Zio-Nazi fucking freaks, decided to be like, we're just gonna continue bombing Iran, destroying the world economy. For what purpose exactly? Just because we want more territory for ourselves in Lebanon. That's exactly what this is all being done for. It is being done at the behest of these insane fucking freaks, part of this insane state known as fucking Israel. Like, there's really, I don't think there's really any other way to fucking put this. It is a death spiral. For what purpose exactly? Meh. Just because it is all about Israel at the end of the fucking day. I don't think that I don't know. I'm just repeating myself here constantly because it's just what are you supposed to say? It is genuinely that fucking insane. There's no other analysis or things that can be said about this besides it's a complete spiral. It's a complete crash. For what purpose exactly? All because Benjamin Netanyahu decided to give a hour-long presentation to Trump to try to basically convince him that a decapitation strike was going to work on Iran, when literally everyone else was saying, no, it's not going to fucking work, you're insane. But he decided to go with what this insane freak over here on the right decided to say instead of literally everyone saying this is a terrible fucking idea, you should not do this. What else is there to really say besides thank you, Benjamin Netanyahu, for making the lives of everyone else across the world worse for literally no fucking reason besides your own sort of fascistic Jewish Lebensraum sort of fucking desires, because you have a legacy to secure for yourself because you're a corrupt fucking shithead of a politician. That God, the maximalist Iranian position was adopted by the fucking president, and it was immediately fucking broken by the Israelis. Genuinely fucking incredible that this fucking happened. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what exactly happens. If the president, when he wakes up, I guess, how he's going to react. Because who the fuck knows? Because everyone's probably going to be a fucking sleep or some shit. I have no fucking idea what exactly will happen. At this point, all we can do is wait and see how the White House is going to react to the fact that seemingly, the ceasefire already seems to be completely fucking broken. Genuinely fucking insane. Don't think there's really much else to say besides that. Honestly, Alex, I don't think because we knew that the Iranians probably had about 60+% of their munitions were not touched whatsoever because it's all in the fucking mountains, which the United States can't reach with air power, right? So I find it highly dubious at best that all the military objectives were achieved whatsoever. I wonder what Netanyahu thinks of this deal. They are trying to strike with Iran. If this was at all worth it for a better outcome for Iran. Well, I mean, Israel, honestly, I don't think they want a better outcome for anyone because Israel just desires blood and they just want to kill people. That's it. We're just going to engage in some of the most essentialist thinking. Oh, and the Houthis are expected to close the Bab al-Mandeb Strait as well in the upcoming hours, according to IRGC channels. So that's cool. Or if the ceasefire holds, will they stop? I don't think it's going to be in retaliation. I think it is because of the fact that it's Israel, right? It's all for fucking Israel, right? To try to disrupt their fucking economy at this point. Man. Fucking nuts, dude. Yeah, get your fucking slurs out. Get your fucking slurs out. We're saying slurs about French people. Also, I think we may be getting a bit of a catch on the Chibi Reviews videos, because I'm starting to see some dislikes on that video. Now, everyone should like the Chibi Reviews video and give it views, so then it catches more in the algorithm, so then it gets pushed out by YouTube, okay? Do it. It's time to also go after the lolicons. Very important. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh, man, dude. I'm curious. Oh, you can. I want to set my following list on my TikTok private, because my IRL friends are following me.
This is absolutely insane.
Shut the fuck up. Following list. Where are you? Everyone, only you. Thank you. Alright, lovely. Alright, she's a private account, so cool. Lovely. Makes sense. All fixed. Very cool, very good, folks. Alright. Wait, how the fuck is... That's weird. Okay, whatever. Very, very strange how that works. Alright, that's the fucking fourth time I punked that thing. Shut up. Alright, cool. Lovely, fantastic. It's time for some pee-pee. We're gonna talk about our pee-pees. Everyone, it's very important to make sure you have a healthy pee-pee. Because we all know that mine is definitely not healthy. Oh, man, dude. That's funny, bro. Whew, man. Oh, also, I saw this on a particular a clipping account called Tectone, Rumble streamer Tectone. Asmongold's Frogan talks about his declining viewership since moving to Rumble, stating that he doesn't care his viewership is declining. Oh man, that's fucking fire. Oh my lord, dude. Your unhinged Blue Sky post. Can't say I have seen that, Boy Meets Mini. Because I don't... I'm be honest. I definitely do not look at Blue Sky. Because, God, Blue Sky is so cringe. Oh, okay, you're talking about, oh, you making fun of Asmongold for being banned for a week. Oh, we're gonna go over him coping about his ban, because it's really funny. He says he did nothing wrong, of course. When he did plenty wrong, but whatever. He made the claim that, what? He did everything right and they indicted him. He made the claim that since he mentioned that a bunch of people were illiterate goat herders within Iran, I think, that is the reason why he got banned, when that's obviously not the case. Very, very fucking silly. And was making a generalized statement about a bunch of, well, the Arab people. That's why he got fucking dinged. Although apparently Tectone is also still talking about his ex on his stream, so that's funny. Second lawsuit time. Yes, that is also true. Iran is definitely more educated than the United States. Also, did I mention this as well? But Tectone deleted about 1,800 videos of his, and apparently... those videos of his were his response stream to the Pinky Chew lawsuit and the results of his protection order. All archived, of course, but those are the videos that he, well, decided to fucking get rid of. So, we'll be keeping that just in case for later. Lawyer probably told him to. If I were to take a guess, more than likely. More than likely, his lawyer probably did tell him to do that. That would make sense. Considering the fact that a lot of the shit that specifically Tectone has been doing in terms of his lawsuit... and legal advice has been stupid, but whatever. Also, listen. puts the Chibi Reviews video in the chat. Why? Because we need it to catch in the algorithm, because it would be funny if it did catch in the algorithm. So then we can shit on lolicons. Think about it. Think about it. We're going full fucking schizo. Very important. Alright, anywho. Why don't we get fucking started with this bullshit. Just to say this real quick. Guys, did you know that conservatives hate you and they want you to have no benefits whatsoever, and they just want people to suffer? Yeah, they just want people to suffer within, well, Canada, generally speaking. So the Liberals are actually doing something that's pretty fucking great and fantastic, which is the Alto high-speed rail line connecting, I think... I don't know, does it go out to Quebec City? I don't remember exactly where the Alto line is slated to go to, but it is connecting, I believe, Toronto to Quebec, or Ontario to Quebec, right? I think I don't remember if it goes all the way down to Windsor, as far south as down to Windsor. That would make a lot of sense, but the benefits of this high-speed rail, instead of having to spend like 6 to 8 hours in a car driving to fucking Montreal, for example, you hop in a train, it's 3 hours. It's fantastic, it's great. But Pierre Poilievre does not want you to have this rail line for one reason only. I said oil by accident. Yeah, it's because of oil. It's because of fossil fuel executives. Yeah. I'd have to look at the proposed line, Boy Meets Mini, if it does stop in Ottawa, but because Ottawa is really, really out of the way of the proposed line, because it would just go straight along down the south, because, like, okay, relatively speaking in terms of the geography of the map, so, like, let's say Windsor is here, Toronto would be about here, Montreal would be, like, way up over here, and then Quebec City would be a little like further along, kind of a deal, right? So that's the proposed line. It would basically just go hug right by the southern part of the border, kind of a deal, right? So it'd probably go to like Kingston, Toronto for sure, maybe Oshawa, Belleville maybe, and some of the other like not as large cities along that sort of line. Maybe it'll have a stop in like Kitchener, Waterloo, maybe. But I'm only speculating there specifically. Guelph, perhaps, in some of the more like larger, well, not towns, but like some of the other cities also within Ontario, and the only other big cities that I know of in Quebec, it's just Quebec City and Montreal. Those are like the only ones that I could think of. But yeah, overall, like, this rail line would be great. It would connect, I think it's about a third of the population in one rail line, right? So it makes perfect fucking sense to want to go ahead and do this. I think it's like something like 10 million people would be able to use this like rail line. But unironically, it's for Pierre Poilievre, he would prefer to fucking protect private property. Yeah, dude. That's the main fucking concern, is private fucking goddamn property. Like, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. No. You just want your fossil fuel fucking beneficiaries in order to make a bunch more money from all the fucking rising fuel prices because of the Iran war that your dumbass probably would not do anything about it. Like, that's literally what it is. It's incredibly fucking stupid. Unironically, the entire argument that Pierre Poilievre is basically trying to put forward is saying, like, you are not allowed to have nice things. Go fuck yourself. We don't have the money to be able to do this because we're Canada, and we just don't have this money because I just want to give more money to fossil fuel executives. Genuinely fucking insane. But there's a David Dole video, of course, about this whole, I guess, train fiasco of essentially Pierre Poilievre doing the whole Klaus Schwab argument of saying, you will live in the pod, you will eat the bug, and you will have nothing, and you will like it. Like, because that's unironically what the argument is essentially being said here. Like, he wants to save $90 billion and quote-unquote protect private fucking property from something that would, objectively speaking, be such a boon to this fucking goddamn country, and finally establishing some high-speed rail, because the only thing that we have in terms of public rail is Via Rail, and that shit is fucking terrible, and is losing fucking funding because of the cuts that Mark Carney is proposing in his most recent fucking budget bill. So guess what? Service for Via Rail is about to only get worse, and that shit is not high-speed rail. Very, very fucking cool. But here, why don't we take a look at this?
Does conservative leader Pierre Poilievre have
it is bad.
hated? Many people are asking this question. So in this video, I'm going to get to what his latest crusade is, and that is no high-speed rail for you. Despite the fact that the project is popular, is something that Canadians want, particularly the ones that live within the corridor of this rail, which is, we're talking about 50% of the Canadian population is between Toronto and Quebec City.
Oh! Wow, okay, I was vastly underestimated. I thought it was about a third of the population of Canada. I was saying it was like 10 million people. Okay, that would be about a quarter of the population of Canada. Oh, it's like 20 million people. Oh, okay, cool. I'm telling you, like, it's a 10 out of 10 project. Like, people being able to get to, like, Toronto and Montreal. Like, would I like to be able to hop on a line that just gets me to Montreal in, like, 3 hours? Yes, absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. I would fucking love that. That would be so cool, because if I took the same train via Via Rail, that shit would be a slog.
So I'm going to get to all that, what the rail line actually is, at least at this point, and the accurate criticism of this high-speed rail line, because there is an accurate criticism of it. But let me first start with where polling currently sits between these two leaders. So Prime Minister Mark Carney right now is a net favorable of plus 21, overall positive 51%. This is very good for any leader. And compare that to Pierre Poilievre, minus 4.
Oof. Yikes. Nah, that is probably true, Alex. Yeah, PP does just want you to pay expensive jet fuel prices instead.
Positive at 39 and negative at 43%. And it's not going up. Like, it's only been going down. And I can't imagine why.
Yeah, he's an asshole and nobody likes him. Yeah, pretty fucking simple. I mean, when conservative podcasters in Canada have also said that the main thing that people have said about Pierre Poilievre is that he's just kind of like an asshole and is a genuinely unlikable fucking person. Yeah, you may have to fucking hang your fucking hat there, buddy.
Except for many reasons. He is the worst person in every way. It's so incredibly hard to even listen to. When, like, to the point where when I was planning out this video, there's a clip of Pierre Poilievre that I'm going to get to, but I had to debate with
he is our fucking Ron DeSantis.
Myself, how much of this do I actually want to show? Because I guarantee the fall off during his clip is going to be immense for the rest of this video. So if you don't like Pierre Poilievre, you can skip ahead of the clip. The clip isn't all that important, but I do think it's important to include the context of him discussing why he hates high-speed rail. But to be clear, this route, so this is the Alto, is going to be the high-speed rail between Quebec City and Toronto. This is currently the proposed idea.
Okay, like I suspected, I was thinking, I forgot about Laval. Yeah, Laval is a pretty big city. Okay, so it does go up to around Quebec City, Trois-Rivières, Montreal, and okay. Yes, it makes sense that it would probably curve up from Kingston and start heading to Ottawa, probably along the Highway 7. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Going along the toll route that we have in Highway 7, that makes a lot more sense. It goes to Toronto. Okay, it doesn't go to Windsor. I thought it would go further south, like maybe to Hamilton, to Windsor and shit like that. It doesn't go that far south. That's interesting. It goes to fucking Peterborough. Definitely dodges Kitchener, Waterloo. That's for sure. Guelph as well. Maybe that could be an expansion. Probably not. No, I don't think that would be an expansion. I mean, maybe if they add like another line, they could do that, right? Like, depending on how successful it is. Because this is the current proposed corridor, the actual proposed plan for what they want to do for the rail line, right? Maybe if they add more lines, given how if it ends up being successful and it doesn't get bogged down by, I don't know, every fucking lobbying firm that's gonna try to fucking stop this, we'll see exactly what happens. But yeah, I mean, this is just a good idea.
There isn't a definite line yet in terms of where they would want to build this, but it could, there were discussions earlier that it could actually go all the way down to Windsor. But this is what we're currently seeing.
Oh, okay, so there was discussions that it would go all the way down to Windsor. Hamilton might be a bit annoying because I think where Windsor is, yes, that is true. London is also another decently large city, but yeah, who the fuck cares about London? I think Hamilton is, if we're looking at this map, relatively speaking, it's right around here at this tip of the, I forget which Great Lake this is. I think it's not Superior. I think that's Erie. I think that's Lake Erie. No, that's not Lake Erie. That's not by Michigan. Lake Ontario. I think that one's Lake Ontario. Yeah, it's right by like one of the tips of like Lake Ontario, I think. So there's that. Where Hamilton is. Hamilton is one of our industrial sort of cities, right? So makes sense that it'd be probably by a body of water. Generally, that's where most industrial centers tend to be, by bodies of water. And Hamilton is kind of out of the way in comparison to Windsor, which is not as out of the way. Which is also right by the border if it were to go that far down south, which, makes sense. Like, I don't know, like Americans could, come over in day cars or whatever and just use Windsor as like a connecting sort of point and go to, like, say, Toronto or Montreal via the high-speed rail, or even Ottawa as well. Would make a lot of sense.
Where, as they write, CBC News writing, the rail network is expected to take passengers from Montreal to Toronto in 3 hours, about half the time it takes to drive, and at double the speed of Via Rail's current trains. So,
be really good.
As Toronto Star writes, Alpha's proposed electric rail line would run trains at speeds of 300 kilometers per hour and up, and include stops at Peterborough, Ottawa, Laval, Montreal, Trois-Rivières, and Quebec City. The 1,000-kilometer railway, the government says, could have the travel times between stops. Construction on the project, which comes with a price tag of $60 billion to $90 billion, could begin as soon as 2029, with each section of the rail line expected to take years to complete. This is something that we should have had years ago.
Should have had this forever ago.
Maybe. Now, if there's an actual commitment, we will have this. I think this is so incredibly important. We're talking about just the amount of people in Canada that live within this line. The benefits this would have.
It's immense, dude.
First up, job creation is obvious in terms of building the line, in terms of the Canadian steel that would be used.
Yep, that's true. Canadian unionized labor would definitely be used in order to create all this shit. And, yeah, like I said before, it's about, like, half of the country's population. Because that's, unironically, that is where most people within Canada live, is right along the border with the United States of America to the further southern parts of the country. Why? Because that's where it's, generally speaking, warmer.
In terms of staffing the line, on and on. The benefits of that, in addition to, of course, the benefits when it comes to commutes, people especially being able to live in, say, Peterborough and working in Montreal, for example.
Especially considering the fact that we have been losing a bunch of jobs in this fucking country.
It would be able to expand where people could actually live. And in addition to that, this is just positive community building. Like, being able to wake up one day and be like, you know what? I want to see Montreal today. And I live in Toronto. Instead of having to think about the 6-hour drive that's going to be, you now could take a 3-hour line all the way down and see Montreal for the day.
Sure.
So just the benefits are endless. But there is an accurate criticism from the left about how this rail line has been proposed. And that is because it is largely privatized. So while Via Rail,
yeah, we're doing this through public-private fucking partnership bullshit. The festering cancer of the public-private partnership that from the United States of America also fucking affects us. So, yeah, this is, I guarantee this shit's gonna get fucking completely bogged down. There's gonna be, I guarantee you, okay? This is going to be, bogged down in a bunch of fucking scandals. It's going to be bogged down in a bunch of fucking bullshit saying like, oh, the line is taking too long to fucking goddamn build. You're wasting all this money on a bunch of privatized sort of like consultants and firms, yada, yada, yada. Why are you using all this taxpayer funds? I guarantee, I can see it coming from a fucking mile away because, again, we're doing this like stupid like private public partnership fucking cancerous ass bullshit.
Rail is a Crown Corp, and we could have invested into Via Rail to build this high-speed rail line. This is instead an investment into a public-private partnership, which is all the liberal government knows, all conservative governments know. This is all they ever do. This is neoliberalism 101, handing money off to private corporations for them to do something that then ends up
that they won't do,
not being as beneficial as it would have been if it was simply a public investment. So I will link to this article below. This is from The Breach from a year ago. They have a great analysis of this, but I do want to focus more on this video on Pierre Poilievre. So he put out this statement: save $90 billion, protect private property, stop the liberal alto boondoggle. Like, how fucking stupid do you have to be for lines like this to work on you?
Well, we are talking about conservatives, especially Canadian conservatives, who just fashion themselves as, like, diet MAGA chud dipshits. So, yeah, honestly, like, just given that fact alone, I would, yeah, say that the intelligence of your average Canadian conservative is significantly lesser than that of, let's be honest here, your average, like, American conservative. Would I say that? Maybe not. No, I'm not playing Champions. I have not played Champions, and given a lot of what's being said about and what's missing in Champions, I'm not fucking touching that shit. I think it looks like complete. There's no Mega Metagross or Salamence. Well, like, what are we doing here? Where are my boys? What the fuck is this? Also, most of the abilities that the new Megas have gone, dog shit. Items, dog shit. What the fuck is this? The Pokedex, dog shit. It's a disaster, I think, of a release. Awful release. Do not touch that shit unless they fucking patch it. And then I learned the company that made Pokemon Champions is the same company that made BDSP. I'm like, okay, that explains everything. Jesus Christ. It's bad, Skeptomaniac. It is not good. It is not good.
But here you go. So it's the private property, which, when we were talking about infrastructure, this is just the reality of having to build infrastructure in places that already have people and farms, in this case. So Alto is going to start requesting access to private land along potential high-speed rail route. But, of course, it's voluntary, and landowners will be compensated. So it's not as if we're just,
Oh, yeah, because we don't have eminent domain in this country, right? We can't, like, the government can't just take private property away from people, because this is normally how it's supposed to work. We'll just say, like, listen, can we just use your property? Like, you don't have to participate if you don't want to. We just want to use this for our planned rail line, and you will be, I'm going to be honest, we're just going to give you a bunch of money for it, and that's, like, totally fine and normal. Missing Pokemon is kind of fucked, but I've been having fun. Well, I'm glad you're having fun there. I'm going to be honest, unless, like, there's some significant fucking changes. And I mean, a bunch of, like, significant items are also missing from it. Like, I'm not touching that shit with a 10-foot pole. And no 6v6 singles? Oh, but Daho, it's the VGC platform. Okay, you can do 6v6 singles in the regular fucking game, and it's been used as a quote-unquote VGC platform and has more sort of, like, options for, like, shit you can generally speak and do. Like, I don't know, that's just, like, a fucking excuse to me.
Taking the land and fuck off. Like, no, people are compensated for the land that they're on. Often, of course, more than the land would actually cost otherwise. This is
True.
The normal process of having to build something like a rail line. And you would think Pierre Poilievre, who's super into building pipelines, would understand this part of the process. But you have here, this clown, here is some of what he had to say.
I'm announcing today that Conservatives oppose the $90 billion Liberal Alto train, that we call on the Carney Liberals to cancel it, and I'm confirming that a future Conservative government will cancel this $90 billion boondoggle altogether. We will save Canadians $90 billion or $8,000 per family. We will use the savings to lower debt, taxes, and inflation. We will lower the cost of government to...
He's not actually going to do that. Listen, he just wants to shovel $90 billion more dollars to all the fossil fuel executives that pay for his dog shit fucking campaigns. Yeah, liberal, so it is bad. I mean, unironically, that is our fucking Canadian conservatives. That's all that they do. They see, liberal, so bad. It's a liberal thing, so bad. Who cares? It's a liberal thing, so bad. Like, it's like David Dole said, like, unironically, like, imagine being one of the fucking dipshits that, unironically likes this dumbass fucking party. Like, all they do is just say, like, liberal thing, so therefore bad. It's just like, okay, bro, nice meme.
To lower the cost of living. We will greenlight projects that pay for themselves, projects that make money rather than taking money.
All right, so I'm going to get to what I think is behind all of this, which is ultimately what is behind every single conservative policy. But using this dumbass logic, we never would have built railroads. Oh, we're just taking money from people. Why are we investing all this money into building railroads across Canada? These are investments.
Yeah, but because, like, and by the way, as David Dole said, like, oh, Pierre Poilievre wants to use taxpayer money to build a bunch of fucking pipelines, which, again, that's taking money from people and, like, private property away from fucking people to build these stupid fucking pipelines. But now all of a sudden it's a big fuss when it's a rail line. Makes you fucking think, doesn't it?
Benefit people for generations.
Probably a lot, boy.
It's absolutely absurd to just be against any sort of infrastructure improvement at all. I mean, as I get to some of the reactions here in a bit, like, people are universally against Pierre Poilievre here. Everybody is in support, I should say. The vast majority of people are in support of high-speed rail because they understand
they're just shitting on him for this.
And they can see how other countries have moved forward as countries when they built high-speed rail.
Bro, like, listen, it's time to... Alright, we're doing the fucking soy point, okay? Oh, we're soy pointing soy! China, literally, its entire country is nothing but fucking rail lines. So much high-speed fucking rail. You want to get anywhere in China? Hop on a fucking train. Done easy. Just like that. And we're, like, one of the decrepit shitholes that hasn't fucking done that because we don't build anything in this country because it's all about funneling money into the hands of, the fucking rich in this infernal hellhole of a country. And people generally, like, wonder why, like, poverty and everything in terms of, like, socioeconomics is getting worse in this country. I wonder why.
We are far behind everybody else. So, some reactions to Pierre Poilievre here. Alex Glister writing, saying protect private property about a linear infrastructure project is setting a bad tone in a country that needs high-speed rail, pipelines, electrical transmission, new roads, etc. I don't agree on all those issues, but I hear his point. Is the CPC vision for Canada do nothing? Are they National NIMBY Party? Yes.
Yes, they are. They are the unironic do-nothing party. Because, again, perfect point here. Talking about the fucking pipelines. It's like Pierre Poilievre, during the entirety of his campaigning and at the fucking debates, was talking about, like, we need to build pipeline. We need to build more pipelines. We need more pipelines, guys. Really, really need more pipelines. Pierre, you are aware that you're going to have to take away people's private fucking property in order to be able to build those fucking pipelines, you dipshit. You recognize this, correct? I'm saying this all rhetorically. You do recognize this, but again, you're just saying this because A, you're beholden to fossil fuel companies, and B, because of the fact that you're just a, well, dumbass and unlikable fucking weirdo who just wants to be like the guy who just wants to do everything that is the exact opposite of what the Liberal Party has in terms of their goals. A diet version of Trump.
I mean, they clearly are. Reese Martin, who's a transit expert, writes, don't build things, don't govern well, except basic infrastructure of the 1940s and 2026.
True.
And this was pointed out on Reddit by CDN Social Democrat that writes here, this is simply Pierre Poilievre being a arm of the oil and gas lobby. And
shocker.
They quote this conservative policy. So as they write below is literal copy and paste of the CPC policy focus. It reads as a literal parody. It is so biased and insane. And like this is the actual document. It's true. Every aspect of this is about oil. These
Bill C-69, yeah, that's true, which made it nearly impossible to build pipelines and mines. Again, pipelines and mines. Banned oil tankers on Canada's west coast. Again, benefit fossil fuel companies. The carbon tax raises costs and everything for Canadians. Again, carbon tax. Oil and gas companies. Oil and gas cap tax. The EV sales mandate. Of course, these motherfuckers hate fucking EVs. Why? Because can't have as many fucking petroleum products. Gotta have all of our sloppy little fucking fuel and all this fucking bullshit. And of course, wait, what the fuck is the liberal censorship that law that targets energy companies? Like, what are you talking about? Silly.
These people are simply, the Conservative Party simply exists now under Pierre Poilievre as a tool of the oil and gas lobby.
True.
So whether it is building pipelines, whether it's about oil tankers being banned, whether
which, by the way, everyone in Canada wants to move to, like, more greener sources of energy, and we certainly have the ability to be able to pursue that. We have land for solar farms. We can do that. Obviously, solar is not as great within Canada because of the fact that half the time it's, well, not as effective because of the winter here, but still people want to move to more greener forms of energy in this fucking country because we recognize, although we have very, very good hydro resources, we can make a lot of electricity. I think specifically Quebec has all of its electrical needs met from electricity generated from waterfalls, like unironically. There's a reason why the main utility company for electricity is called Hydro-Quebec. Lots of dams there. Yada, yada, yada. People, broadly speaking, in this country understand that we have the resources in order to be able to have, like, a lot of these more green ways to transition into a better, like, greener sort of, like, energy infrastructure in order to help, like, combat climate change. But Pierre Poilievre does not want any of that because, again, the only power base that these motherfuckers have is in Alberta, and the only way that they have the ability to make any money in their dog shit fucking party is through, oil and gas fucking lobbying. It's so stupid, man.
About the industrial carbon tax, whether it's about oil and gas cap, whether it's about the EV sales mandate that they're against, to plastic bans, which involves the gas industry, liberal and censorship law targeting energy companies. Like, it is ridiculous how far the oil industry's hand is up the ass of Pierre Poilievre.
True.
And I think that sentence was weirdly framed, but he's simply a puppet for their interests. There is no other reason for him to be against.
Okay, listen. Okay, let me clean that up for you, David. Okay, I got you, buddy. Suncor took its grubby little oil-covered hands, shoved it up Pierre's fucking asshole, and now decide to talk through him like a ventriloquist dummy.
This rail line, except the fact that it's electrified high-speed rail. So,
True.
More reactions here. Sid writing, I love that conservative vision for Canada is that nothing better is ever possible for us. Sam Hirsch writing, Canada's literally the only G7 country without high-speed rail. Conservatives want you to continue to pay high sky prices for gas, worsen congestion on roads, and make...
Are we really honestly the only G7 country without high-speed rail? God, this fucking country sucks balls. But then again, this is Pierre Poilievre that we're talking about here, right? This is also the dude who unironically had a hand to play in the worsening of the housing crisis within this country by only approving luxury fucking condos.
Make your commute hours longer. We've been studying quote-unquote high-speed rail for 50 years. Time to get it built. David Brown writing, this was the first thing my son mentioned today when I got home, how idiotic it is. Yes, young people are struggling, but that's why they want high-speed rail. They want to enjoy life in Canada. Incredible stupidity. Hayden writing, it's interesting that Pierre Poilievre is against high-speed rail, given his party's platform literally says, quote, we support rail infrastructure across Canada, including innovative high-speed passenger rail, where...
It really is, unironically. Liberals are doing it, so therefore it has to be bad. It's just a fucking poor man's version of Trump. That is literally it. Pierre, you're not even in power, little bro, to try to repeal everything that the liberal predecessor did. That's not how it fucking works, you dumbass. Jesus fucking Christ. It's way harder for him to be able to pull this shit off specifically, considering the fact that we have a parliamentary system in this country.
Warranted. But that's the platform. The platform is not necessarily Pierre Poilievre. So Henry sharing here, until this great work is completed, this is a quote, until this great work is completed, our dominion is little more than a geographical expression. That's from Sir John A. Macdonald on the construction of the Canadian Pacific Railway, which Pierre Poilievre...
That is, by the way, yep, the Canadian Pacific Railway, that is our transnational fucking rail line.
Celebrated Macdonald over, saying his vision was a Canada that was strong and united, bound together by the crown
True
and common
skeptomaniac.
institutions, and by a ribbon of steel that brought goods and people together from almost unfathomable distances. Yet here he is saying, no, good things are not possible. More reactions here. Janelle writing, Mark Hardy's about to have so many seats, they're going to have to drag in extra chairs from the nearest Starbucks.
This is true.
Gaffer writing something that I hope is true. NDP official opposition in less than a year's time. I'm calling it now.
That would be fucking incredibly based if true, but that's not fucking happening.
I don't even think it's going to be an election in less than a year's time, but when you have the opposition party led by a clown like this, just against every possible idea, every sort of investment into Canadians, just coming out against it.
By the way, I'm curious. The Conservatives are supposed to have a leadership assessment for Pierre Poilievre. I think that's this year. I don't know if the date has passed on that quite yet, because broadly speaking, there have been a lot of general instabilities with the fucking Conservative Party for a lot of reasons. Mostly because a lot of the MPs really do not like the actions of Pierre Poilievre. He has like unironic fucking spies all over the fucking goddamn, party who spy on like the voting records of a bunch of differing MPs within his own party. So they're not particular fans about that. A lot of the crossovers that have happened by conservative MPs over to the liberals is because, we're not really. I really don't like the fact that Pierre Poilievre is like this sycophantic weirdo who just wants like people to be sycophantic to him, even though he's like broadly speaking really really unpopular. We went to the House of Commons here in Ottawa in order to try to get stuff done here, So we want to try to get stuff done. So we're just going to leave the Conservatives and try to get something done with the Liberals instead. And that's why they all crossed over, because they're already like center-right politicians, and Mark Carney's governing like a center-right politician. So there's an alignment there specifically. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense why, broadly speaking, there's a lot of instabilities within the Conservative Party, right? But here's the catch. If Pierre Poilievre were deposed, what would happen? If he was no longer the leader and a bunch of like neocon fucking losers like Aaron O'Toole get put back in the leadership position or whatever, the People's Party of Canada would be able to rise up. That is our like Reform UK, our further right-wing fucking party that exists within this country. They would be able to rise out of the ashes like a phoenix in order to be able to claw away at conservative fucking seats. And there would be inherent instabilities with the constituency of the fucking conservatives. It would be a disaster for them, right? And they may potentially lose, well, probably not party status, but they would suffer a lot of fucking consequences and a lot of seats which may not have been competitive, have been generally speaking solid conservative, may not be as solid conservative anymore.
I don't know how you build support. Demon realms, right? And Canadian Conservatives are just the party of self-sabotage. Yeah, let's cancel this important infrastructure halfway through and flush billions of dollars down the drain. Why? Because the libs want it. That really appears to be his whole ethos, is just anti-liberal party.
True.
Which goes to also why he's been losing some MPs to the Liberal Party. The Liberal Party, which is now center-right.
Oh yeah, that's what I said.
You have conservative MPs seeing what Carney's doing and thinking, I support that. Why am I sitting over here with this jackass when I could just go and cross and join the Liberals and be in a conservative party?
Oh my God, I said the same thing.
An ideology that is actually accomplishing what I want.
I'm so smart.
Writing, by 2050, Canada's poised to be a century behind most developed places on rail, despite having 70% of our population highly urbanized in like a straight line over flat ground. Couldn't be the same country that built rail across the continent in 7 years, 150 years ago. It is just wild.
That's it. That is a fantastic point here by Eric over here. That's such a good fucking point, dude. It just doesn't make any fucking sense, and it's because we're beholden to all these oil and gas interests from fucking Alberta, that shithole of a fucking province that seemingly dictates the entirety of the policy within this fucking country. That like decrepit, fucking awful province filled with a bunch of like separatist fucking LARPing weirdos. Listen. Not to talk shit about Edmonton or Calgary, okay? They're probably wonderful cities and a bunch of wonderful people that live in there. But God, the fucking conservatives that exist in that fucking province are insane fucking weirdos.
To think what we were able to accomplish that long ago, and how we can't even get a high-speed rail line off the ground that should have been built 30 years ago. There was one guy, though, that came out in support of Pierre Poilievre's hatred of high-speed rail, and that is Jason Kenney, the former premier of Alberta, who was also, by the way, a big anti-abortion activist back in the day, so I'm sure...
Whoa, what a shocker. A former conservative premier is against this because, again, they don't want you to have anything nice. They just want you to suffer and funnel more money into the hands of oil executives. Shocker.
This opinion here will age well. He also has the Israeli flag still in his name, despite the fact that they have definitionally committed genocide, according to the UN, according to the International Genocide Center.
And, of course, 64% of Canadians support the Palestinians in this country.
According to every expert on Earth, and they also recently passed a law that legalized the death penalty, but only for Palestinians. But sure.
Very cool.
Anyways, he writes, absolutely right. How about we build some pipelines first so we can afford luxuries like this? Jason Kenney calling an infrastructure investment a luxury.
And meanwhile, he's saying that we need to build pipelines in order to be able to afford a fucking infrastructure project, and is calling it a luxury, even though you would have to do the exact same things to build the fucking pipeline. Ugh. I've said this before, but these people need to be fucking ostracized. You cannot live with conservatives. They do not believe in reality. They hate reality. Just ostracize them, unironically. Just fucking get rid of these people, dude.
Again, I'm sure that will age well, like his anti-abortion stance. Let me know your thoughts below on Pierre Poilievre and high-speed rail. If you enjoy...
Complete fucking shit show. But yeah, just as David Dole said, and the same point that I'm also saying, Pierre Poilievre does not want you to have nice things. We are a first world country. We are incredibly rich, and we are very, very well poised to have nice things in this country, but conservatives do not want you to have nice things because they hate you. Yeah, because they hate you. I don't know. What else can you really fucking say besides conservatives hate you? They want you to suffer, and they do not want you to have nice things. All these motherfuckers who constantly talk about how they are very based nationalists and they love Canada all the time, yet they will do literally everything possible in order to make the country worse, can have the economy continue to spiral further and further out of control, just so they can do what exactly? Funnel more money to all of their dipshit oligarch buddies at the top in order to, I don't know, continue to pollute and rape and pillage this fucking country and the rest of the planet for a dipshit fuel source that everyone, broadly speaking, understands that will cause the death and destruction of the fucking planet and also this country. It's stupid, it's ridiculous, it's nonsensical, but I would not expect anything less from the conservatives that currently live in this fucking goddamn country. They just want you to suffer. Don't think there's really much else to say besides that. Guys, have I ever said how much conservatives hate us? Did I drop something? Ugh. Oh, there it is. Thing I dropped. Ugh. Oh man, 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 oh man. Alright, let's get through this real quick then. Well, in another loss for the Republican Party, for the general GOP, seem to be racking up those L's consistently, it appears that Mike Johnson has now caved on DHS funding. Now, apparently, because there's, okay, fun fact, there's a government shutdown, partial government shutdown happening in the United States of America, where a lot of people within DHS, the Coast Guard, the TSA, and also those demons at ICE have not been getting the funding that they needed, yada, yada, yada. For what purpose exactly? Because the Democrats are saying, like, can we please, like, negotiate with you guys, or at least try to negotiate with you guys for some modest reforms on ICE, because everybody in the country, generally speaking, really hates them. Well, except for conservatives. But even then, some conservatives also really do not like them. I think it's about, like, 27% of conservatives, Republicans, that is, do not like the actions of fucking ICE, which is very, 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 very funny. So apparently the plan is to try to work around the Democrats with a continuing resolution, instead to continue to fund ICE, to try to get around them through the Senate. Is that actually going to work? From what I understand, no, not really. So, I mean, if the Republicans want to try to do that, and broadly speaking, try to disregard the rules of the Senate, then they can do that and make themselves look really, really bad. So Mike Johnson, because the Senate tried to pass something, Mike Johnson basically decided to block it, meaning the shutdown continued. It's been a complete, like, I guess, communicative shit like shit show for the Republicans in terms of the DHS funding debacle, which is just not really happening. And now they're deciding to go forward with the exact same DHS bill that was passed within the Senate that's excluding ICE and CBP funding. Also, there was an executive order signed by the president himself, which further undermines his position, which is probably why Mike Johnson is now deciding to go along with the Senate bill specifically, saying that the TSA needs to be fucking funded because of all the lines that are starting to pile up within the airports all across the United States of America, and everyone's sort of like starting to complain and moan about it. I know that like Trump tried to like alleviate the problems with ICE, and all they really did was just like harass people and just arrest people randomly, like American citizens, I'm going to reiterate, which is very, very fucking funny. So, Mike Johnson ends up making himself look stupider and stupider for trying to like suckle at the teat of Donald Trump, who has been unironically like undermining him under every turn. It is very, 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 very funny. But here, a quick Bell the Ranch video talking about, well, Mike Johnson and the GOP caving on DHS funding, partially because they have been also undermined by the president himself, who signed an executive order to, well, have funding for the TSA. Now, you may be asking yourself this question. It's a good question for you to ask yourself. Well, Daho, how on earth is ICE getting funding when the Democrats are holding up funding for ICE so they can get their rather, well, modest reforms through to try to reform the agency? That's a very, very good question. And the answer to that question is through the one big beautiful bill, that dog shit piece of legislation. Yeah, the reason why ICE has the ridiculous amount of funding that it does right now is because of that one big pile of dog shit known as the one big beautiful bill, right? And that is the main reason for as to why ICE is still able to like somewhat operate, but you still need the House and the Senate in order to be able to approve for those funds that are earmarked by the bill in order to give that to. It's a little weird. It's the United States. It's very, very silly and ridiculous, but that's generally speaking like the basic shtick of how it works for as to why they don't have the funding immediately, because Congress still has to approve like all of the funds that have been earmarked throughout various bills to give to the particular agencies. It's a little weird. It's silly. It's ridiculous. Blah, blah, blah. So that's the thing that the Democrats are basically trying to have a contention with in order to try to prevent funding to ICE that the Republicans basically caved on, and are now allowing for more and more negotiations to be done. For what exactly? Oh, to try to have some kind of a reform for these Gestapo little fucking freaks who run around and just, well, kill American citizens. Anyway, I'm going on a little bit of a ramble here. Why don't we take a look at this?
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about the GOP caving on DHS funding.
Hooray.
This little event that might be overshadowed by Trump's address is definitely worth noting. In fact, some cynical people might even say...
Oh, yeah, right. This also happened at the time that, God, the president gave the State of the Union address, right? Where he was like, I don't know, like soying out as much as possible for, like all the ICE officers, like sort of actions and stuff like that, saying that doing such a great job in terms of immigration enforcement, even though the fact that basically everybody fucking hates their guts. It's very, very funny.
Suggest this announcement was timed to coincide with the speech, or vice versa, to knock yet another Republican legislative failure off the front pages. House Republicans have apparently agreed to move forward with the plan of funding all of DHS except ICE and Border Patrol until negotiations can happen. They're framing it differently and saying they'll try to use another budget reconciliation package to take care of immigration funding without Democrats. But the fact is that they are moving forward with funding everything except those agencies. Mm-hmm. A joint statement from Senate Majority Leader...
Which, again, it's really, really funny that they're saying, like, oh, actually, nah, dude. we got basically everything we wanted, except for things that we actually wanted, just like a massive fucking copium huff.
Thune and Speaker of the House Johnson said, quote, "In the coming days, Republicans in the Senate and House will be following through on the president's directive by fully funding the entire Department of Homeland Security on 2 parallel tracks, through the appropriations process and through the reconciliation process."
I know that also the president was trying to say that he was not going to sign any like funding bill for DHS unless the SAVE Act was also passed. He ended up backing off on that seemingly as well, because that's not going anywhere, and also because of the fact that the Republican position has been undermined by the fact that the TSA sort of executive order was also passed by him. So it's just like, it's just a complete fucking shit show, dude. They have really no idea what the fuck they're doing.
If you think that sounds like Republicans just caved and Democrats won a budget shutdown fight, you're not the only one. The
Third
idea
time's
of
the
funding
charm, I
everything
guess.
except immigration forces was something Republicans flatly rejected just a few days ago.
True.
Thune and Johnson's statement tried to explain the new reasoning. Quote, "In following this 2-track approach, the Republican Congress will fully reopen the department, make sure all federal workers are paid, and specifically fund immigration enforcement and border security for the next 3 years so that those law enforcement activities can continue uninhibited." Chuck Schumer,
Well, as obviously, which obviously has been, they've had those funds already appropriated to them through the One Big Beautiful Bill. So then saying like, actually, yeah, we're going to give them more funding. It's like, well, I mean, you guys already have that. It's just a complete shit show.
who has been under fire lately for not taking a hardline approach, took to social media to celebrate. Quote, "For days, Republican divisions derailed a bipartisan agreement, making American families pay the price for their dysfunction.
True.
Throughout this fight, Senate Democrats never wavered. We were clear from the start. Fund critical security, protect Americans, and no blank check for reckless ICE and Border Patrol enforcement. We were united, held the line, and refused to let Republican chaos win." Schumer winning a shutdown fight wasn't on many people's list of expected events.
This is true.
Now to the nitty-gritty details. Can Republicans actually pull this off and fund ICE without reforms via a budget reconciliation process?
I think the answer to that is not really, kind of. It's a little fucking weird. The budget reconciliation process it's a little weird how it works. But basically, kind of how it works. Actually, I don't really know exactly how it fucking works. It's really, really confusing and fucking weird. It's one of those things where they can like specifically take like certain funding, like put it in like a really, really weird sort of process to essentially try to shun out the other half of the party, right? Because Lindsey Graham said this in a interview with Fox News. I think it was Lindsey Graham, or was it John Kennedy, the dipshit from Louisiana, one of the two, who said that we can use the budget reconciliation process to essentially like shut out the Democrats in order to try to get only 50 votes to get the funding that we want for ICE in comparison to having to go through the filibuster. That's like kind of the point of budget reconciliation, is that it's supposed to get around the filibuster.
Yes, it's possible. But the budget reconciliation process isn't simple. There will be an explainer below. And they tend to take time in which negotiations could end up already being completed.
That's true.
To give you an idea of how long they take, the last budget reconciliation package that got pushed through was the One Big Beautiful for Billionaires package. It took from February until July. They could move it faster if they were united, but they probably won't be. Every little hang-up provides more...
There will be a bunch of people who are going to have problems with ICE, right? Especially where it is much less popular for them, right? In certain states, it's probably not going to be great, especially with a lot of the House districts as well. They're probably not going to be particularly big fans of a lot of the actions of ICE because of a lot of these more vulnerable purple district Republicans who are probably very, very pissed with them. Like, I mean, Georgia's 14th district, that race just happened, and that was a Trump plus 37 district, which became a plus 14 district. Now, you may be saying, well, Trump still won that in a very, very clear majority, but considering the fact that a Democrat was able to take away from the supermajority the absolute grip that Trump had on that district, which was Marjorie Taylor Greene's former district, very, very ruby red. The likelihood of it flipping was quite low. But the fact that they went from plus 37 to plus 14 is genuinely fucking insane. People really despise the actions of the Republican Party.
More chances for GOP cohesiveness to break down. And in the run-up to a midterm election under a president with a failing economy, unpopular war, and rising gas prices, there might be Republicans who know they need something to show their voters. They may try to add things that will end up slowing down the process. Either way.
That's a really, really good point there, right? Because, again, like, what do the GOP have as wins right now? Not really much of anything. And everything that the Trump is doing, generally speaking, because, again, when a lot of people... Because Americans are not exactly the sharpest tools in the shed. When they see a particular action that is happening, they're just going to associate with the guy in power and blame the entirety of the party for it, right? Generally speaking, that's how that works. So they'll just blame the entirety of the Republican Party for the actions of Trump. And they'll look at gas prices and attribute that to Trump. They'll look at inflation, attribute that to Trump. Because normally the president himself doesn't really have a fancy little gas price button to lower gas prices or lower inflation. But this time, we can unironically attribute and point to a bunch of different stuff that Trump has done while in power that has been rising inflation, that has been making the labor market worse, that has been making gas prices significantly worse, that has also been done throughout the Middle East to make all of these things, well, that whether that be inflation, gas prices, or other fucking goods, raising fucking prices, right? We can point to things. Whereas generally speaking, depending on the situation, it's not as simple as just like blaming one particular guy.
Democrats scored another win, and this one looks to be primarily Schumer's doing. Anyway,
crazy
it's just
to
a
think.
thought. Y'all have a good day.
It is genuinely surprising to think that the Republican Party being so ridiculously fucking dysfunctional and disliked has made it such that, well, I managed to get a win by basically not really doing much of anything because the Baileys told me to not really do much of anything and I just won. So clearly my strategy of doing nothing and winning is working. It's like, okay, Chuck, you're not Topshi. You're not the guy who can... You're not that guy. You have to actually do stuff in order to win. Topshi can just do nothing and constantly fucking win. You're not him. You're not that guy, pal. But what else is there to really say? It is inconceivable to think that Chuck Schumer actually managed to win a shutdown fight. Well, you know what, Chuck? Third time's the charm is what they say. So I guess 2 claps? I guess? Sure, man. 2 fucking claps for Chuck Schumer for actually winning a shutdown fight by doing what exactly? Oh, letting Republican dysfunction and the fact that Donald Trump basically sabotaged the Republican Party for what exactly? Yeah, just kind of for not necessarily, I guess, having an actual plan of, well, going forward of doing any form of, like, governance or really any, like, federal sort of, like, action, I guess, for lack of a better term, because in reality what the Republicans want as a party and as an overall goal is to destroy executive function and federal sort of function of the government because of, well, they want basically everything to be completely privatized to shit. And if this can also be fucking privatized to shit, they would. They wouldn't give much of a shit about that whatsoever. Like the actions of like DHS, ICE, the Coast Guard, and all these other motherfuckers. Don't think there's really much else to say besides, I guess Chuck Schumer finally got a win on the board. So, good job, I guess, Chuck Schumer. Good for you, bud. You managed to get a small modicum of reform, maybe potentially in ICE, and cause more dysfunction in already one of the most dysfunctional fucking parties on the planet. Ugh. Okay, I don't know if Skeptomaniac is still here, but from what I understand, the Snap Trap has been changed from a grass move to a steel move. Why the fuck is it a grass? That's very, very weird, but whatever. Change mechanic. When you encore Pokemon into a different priority move, it will have the encored... Wait, okay. It will have the encored move's priority. Ah, interesting. Okay. Here's something that actually kind of matters. First impression base power has been buffed to 100 base power from 90. God damn. Glycopod bros, are we eating good? Glycopod bros, I think we're eating good. If you encore Pokemon into a move after it chooses a different move, it will randomly select the target. Ah, interesting. When Cerebi thinks the game is bad, you know things are real bad. That's crazy. No rental teams. Jesus Christ. Man, they are really doing everything possible to make this fucking game as doo-doo bupkis as possible. Insane. Alright. Who the fuck are we raiding out to today? Alright, let's raid out to Riverboat Jack. Let's do that. Alright, dorks. Raid messages. You know what to do, you know what to say. Transfer out of the Dahori buff if you're a sub. If you're a non-sub, you do the WoW with the Dahori buff, so we show appreciation. Those are into the case gamers. I will be back tomorrow. More Factorios. This Friday, we'll have a collab with Echoplex. So that's this Friday. Around midnight, I think, because he said starting 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. I have to double check the time, his time, so that would be about midnight my time, so that'll be fun. Very, very cool. So that's gonna happen. As for tomorrow, same old bullshit, yada yada yada. We'll see what happens with the, well, Iran specifically. And we'll just go from there. Anyway, gamers, I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place, same face. Peace out, gamers.